Major funding for this program was made possible by Friends of Iowa Public Television.
Each year, an estimated 12,000 Iowa high school wrestlers begin their quest for the coveted state title. The final rung on the ladder is here in Des Moines at the state championships. A tournament that began with more than 600 competitors has been narrowed to 78. And tonight, 3 team titles will be determined. And 39 individual champions will be crowned. From Veterans Auditorium in Des Moines, Iowa, Iowa Public Television Sports presents the 1994 High School Wrestling Championships. Hello, I'm Doug Brown, and with me Tim Johnson as usual, and here we are full of electricity as we catch it from all those people up in the stands. I think this is one of the glories of Iowa sports, don't you?
Well, I agree with you. It's the end of a lot of training, a lot of sacrifice for these young wrestlers, a lot of weight control. In fact, after tonight, they can go eat. No more
chocolate cake, huh?
But it's really a culmination of dreams come true for these young men who are competing in the finals tonight.
Well, you know, Tim, the dreams are shared tonight in a very special way.
Well, I think relationships is what wrestling is about. Relationships between the wrestlers and their coaches, but a very special relationship is that father-son. And we have it tonight with 2 matches where a father is coaching his son against another father who's coaching his son.
That's amazing. And also along the way, you're going to see a lot of people who were ranked number 1 and 2 all year and made it to the finals.
Well, we have some surprises, but the experts look good. There's at least 7 number 1 versus number 2 ranked wrestlers going tonight.
Now, if you tuned in to watch that young man down the street who made it to the finals, you know, or maybe your grandson or your nephew, you know, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Here's the way it works. We can't show you all the matches at the same time because there are 3 mats going at the same time. Well, the first in the rotation class 3-year plan for Iowa High School Athletic Association, the first 4 weights will be 1A, as you see. The second 4, 2A. The next 4 weights will be 3A. And heavyweight, tonight we tossed it up and we decided to pick the 3A weight. And that's what's going to happen.
And we're going to keep you informed out there about all the other matches. And along the way, if we're done with a match early, we'll go to another one, and we'll keep you updated on scores.
And we're going to depend on our longtime floor reporters, Dick Trotter and Dean Borg, to tell you about the matches you don't see. Let's talk about individuals, because over the years, such great names come up. We have no exception this season at all.
Well, exactly. In fact, streaks is the word, as in win streaks. At 1A, we have Jason Keenan from Ogden High School, and he has won 68 in a row. In fact, he has never lost. He's won 2 titles. He's only a junior going for his 3rd. When he was born, Ogden High School didn't even have a program. I bet he's glad they started it. And at 2A, we have Lee Fullhart, who has already signed with the Hawkeyes to wrestle. He hasn't lost since his freshman year. He's won 110 in a row. I'll bet that's why Dan Gable's excited about him coming into his room. And at 3A, we have Tony Whelan. Some say physically he is the best, pound for pound. He's also one of the best football players in the state, highly sought after. He'll make a choice next year, but it's wrestling tonight. He's going for his 2nd title.
And we have some great team matches going on, too. We have not yet decided who is going to win the championship in any of the 3 school-size classes. And with me to catch you up on this is Ron Seaman, who is the publisher, editor, general, everything for The Predicament, the Iowa wrestling newspaper. And Ron, glad to have you with us this year. Nothing's quite settled yet, huh?
No, Doug, it isn't quite settled at all. A nice, tight race going all the way.
At 1A, who's in there? Lisbon still?
Well, Lisbon, naturally, they're tough. You know, Riceville is trying to hang with them, and Riceville brought more kids, but we'll have to wait and see how that turns out.
2A looks like we have Clarinda with a first-year coach. How about that? That's a thrill for him.
I think it's got to be great for Mike Marino, who went to Iowa State University, made a name for himself. You know, Clarinda's got a fair lead on Osage, and I don't know if Osage can catch them or not.
Well, now, tonight, too, in the 3A, Indianola has been leading. They don't have it ice, but what do they have to do to win tonight?
Well, they've got to have a champion. They have four chances to get that champion, so they're in pretty good shape, Doug. I'd like to have that kind of shape all the time.
Well, it looks good for those teams. Those are the teams that are in the races right now. Thank you, Ron. Ron Seaman. And next year, you're going to be celebrating your 25th year with the publication, right?
I must be getting old.
Well, I'll tell you what, we all are, but we're going to celebrate with you next year. And we'll celebrate tonight the Iowa High School Wrestling Tournament coming up next on Iowa Public Television. we're back at the 1994 High School Wrestling Championships. And now let's join PA announcer Mo Kelly for tonight's opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Grand March 1994 at the State High School Wrestling Tournament. You are about to witness some of the finest young high school athletes in our nation. The top 6 place winners in each class, in each weight division at our 1994 State Wrestling Tournament. The Grand March escort is Bernie Sago, Executive Director, Iowa High School Athletic Association. How about a big greeting for the 1994 top place winners?
It's always a big thrill for the top 6 at every weight class, every school size, to march out here in front of more than 12,000 people. Something they remember all their lives.
Performing the national anthem will be the Webster City High School Wrestling Cheerleaders. And now our national anthem.
Those are the wrestling cheerleaders that you often see jumping up and down and shouting, and they're doing a wonderful job of singing the national anthem here at the opening ceremonies of the 1994 Wrestling Championship. There's Bernie Sagoff, who has been the executive director of the Iowa State Athletic Association for a long time. He's retiring, and he's the Grand March. He's just, I guess he's a little ways away from it, but he got a big honor anyway. I'm trying to put him away before he needs to be, right?
But he's done a super job as the executive secretary, and he's the Iowa High School Athletic Association is a Bernie Sago in a lot of ways.
Again, these are the top 6 place winners at each of the weights for each of the 3 school classes. And eventually you'll see these same people on the victory stand after the first 2 places have been decided. They already know 4 through 6. While they're marching out here, here's a little review for you about the match scoring inside the match, how the points are scored, takedowns 2 and escapes 1, reversals is another 2, near fall, if you hold them for up to 5 seconds in a near fall position, it's 2 points. Keep them past 5 seconds, it's 3, and it's all over. Everybody likes to see the ball, the pin, except the fellow who gets pinned. Now there's the team scoring in a tournament goes this way. How do you get to the place where, for instance, Indianola is in the 3A division on top of the standings? You get 2 points for those top advancement descriptions, and then in consolation round, 1, 1.5, technical fall, major decision, you get another one. Those are some of the ways that you get points. Get special for big wins, you know, pins and the like. And that's how you get points as you go through the tournament. And here we have we've come down to the very end, the last 2, and we'll start those just after the opening ceremonies. People, a lot of electricity in the air. But here's one of the things that keeps the sport a piece of history, you know. You begin to see all the great people from the past who've made a way for themselves. Here's Mo Kelly again.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about another big hand for the Webster City Wrestling cheerleaders who did a great job. Come on out, girls. And the soloist was Kristen Kidney. A great job, girls. These girls are not only singers, they're athletes, they're good scholars, and we certainly appreciate you being here this evening. Thank you, girls. Ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Sago loves high school athletics, and he has a particular fondness for wrestling. About 30 years ago, he came into the IHSAA office as Assistant Executive Secretary, and he was in charge of the wrestling program, and he was in charge of the state wrestling tournament. Back in those days, there were about 50, maybe 60 schools in the state with wrestling, and 90% of them were located way up in the northern part of Iowa. Bernie thought the sport had great potential, and he said, I think this thing eventually could draw as many as 25,000 people to a state tournament if the right decisions were made. One of the things he thought might help create statewide interest and statewide participation was to move the tournament to a more central location. And it ended up here at Des Moines at Veterans Auditorium. The last 3 days, we've witnessed the results of that great decision along with many other great decisions about our wrestling program that's now made it the greatest high school wrestling event in the entire nation. Bernie Sago has been known to us Iowans for 30 years as a man of great foresight, great leadership, integrity, enthusiasm, and loyalty to high school athletics. But those characteristics are also known nationwide, and that was evidenced last summer as he was inducted into the National Federation High School Sports Hall of Fame. How about a big hand for our Grand March Escort 1994, Bernie Sago, Executive Director of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. We have a few awards to bestow at this time on behalf of the Iowa High School Athletic Association and also the Iowa Wrestling Coaches and Officials Association. To present the first series of awards, here's Rick Wilco, the Administrative Assistant of the IHSAA. When you stop and think about it, the Medical Society of Iowa has produced some great friends for those of us who have high school athletes, both male and female. If you think about your hometown, there's probably a doctor in that community who has provided great service to the young athletes. They provide physical exams. They're there at the various events, taking care of the injured, not only the home team, but usually the visitors as well. If you look in your program, there's a list in there of the many doctors that have been honored with our Team Doctor Award through the years. And we'd like to add one more name to that list this evening. He's been the team doctor at Boone High School for several years, nominated by that school. And you may have noticed the last several years, he's been the team physician here at our state wrestling tournament. At this time, we'd like to present a Team Doctor Award to Dr. Jim Hardinger of Boone, and he's with his wife, Sue. And as is the tradition, we have some more Hall of Famers to induct this evening. Some people who have contributed greatly in different ways to the wrestling success of our high schools in the state through the years. The first recipient is Dick Govig of Britt. He was a two-time state champion. By the way, Dick, at the end of his high school career, attempted the Olympic tryouts, and he was the very last high schooler that was eliminated from those Olympic tryouts. He went on to the University of Iowa, was an NCAA champ as a sophomore, but then was beset by injuries the final couple of years. So that ended his collegiate career. Dick could not be with us this evening, but a fellow that wrestled him many times and also became a very good personal friend of Dick Govig will accept the award for Dick, and that's David Hardy, Assistant Executive Director of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Our next Hall of Famer is still the head coach at Wrightsville after 29 years. He's had outstanding success, well over 200 dual meet victories compared to only 70-some losses. He's had a couple of teams that were state runners-up. He's had a very good team again this year, as we all know. He's also had success as a coach in a couple other sports as well. How about a big welcome for Hall of Famer from Wrightsville, Coach Dave Ripley, accompanied by his wife, Shirley. Another great contributor to our high school program in Iowa is Ron Scott, still the head coach at Mount Ayr High School. Ron's been at it a long time, too. He was a fine wrestler while he was in high school in another state, and he participated in wrestling while in college at Northwest Missouri State. He came right to his first job at Mount Ayr in 1966 and has been there ever since. He's had good competitive teams, and he's very proud of the fact that many of his former wrestlers went on to the collegiate ranks, and also many of them are now coaching the sport. So a big hand for Hall of Famer Ron Scott of Mount Ayr and his wife, Dana. Now we have to go back a few years to talk about the next gentleman. Back in the early 20s, he was a two-time state champion in the early 20s, and that started a tremendous family wrestling tradition. He had two brothers that were wrestlers. He had two sons that were wrestlers. One of them later became a wrestling coach and entered the Hall of Fame a few years ago as the coach at Ankeny High School. And now he has two grandsons, and they're wrestling coaches at Ankeny. And also, he's accompanied tonight by his daughter, and she is a cheerleading coach up in Minnesota. And his name is Ernie Sharp. He's a Hall of Famer, accompanied by his daughter, Diane Peterson. Another big hand for these fine folks. The Iowa Wrestling Coaches and Officials by naming a Class 3A Coach of the Year, a Class 2A Coach of the Year, a Coach of the Year in Class 1A, also a Junior High Coach of the Year, and an Official of the Year. So at this time, we're going to be making these presentations. The officers of the Iowa Wrestling Coaches and Officials Association will do the honors, and I'd like to introduce them at this time. John Monroe is the current president. Wes Creason is currently vice president. The secretary-treasurer is Rich Gray, and the executive secretary is Jim Steyer. Okay, it's time now to name the coaches of the year, and these fellows are proud, not only because of the honor, but the way it was presented. They were chosen by other coaches. So it's a high honor for them indeed to be named Coach of the Year. And we've already told you about our 1A Coach of the Year. It's Dave Ripley of Wrightsville. And his assistant coach is David Guy. The 2A Coach of the Year has been at Greene. He's been at West Dubuque in the last 13 years. He's been at Wilton, and we know how tough they've been. They won a dual team title a year ago. They've won 132 dual team matches in his career there with only 64 losses. A big hand for 2A Coach of the Year, Steve Shirk of Wilton. Assistant coach is Dennis Bourne. The 3A Coach of the Year started out at Clarksville, had great success there, and now he's been at Cedar Rapids Prairie for 2 years, and he's brought them into our state tournament with high hopes the last couple of years. He's done a great job in his coaching career. He's had a state title, a couple of dual team titles so far to his credit. And he's the 3A Coach of the Year from Cedar Rapids Prairie, Ron Peterson. His assistant coaches are Floyd Smith, John Lacosco, Chuck Harden, John Randalls, and Craig Harden. It's really important for these varsity coaches to have success. They've got to have some good coaches at the lower levels to give those youngsters some good training at the beginning. And so the Coaches and Officials Association honors a Junior High Coach of the Year each year. And the gentleman chosen this year has been a junior high coach for 22 years. Some of the young people he had in junior high went on and won NCAA honors, even championships and runner-up awards. So how about a big hand for the 1A coach, or correction, the Junior High Coach of the Year, and that is Larry Liebold of Humboldt. And finally, the Official of the Year, as selected by the Wrestling Coaches and Officials Association. He's been at it quite some time, a former wrestling coach himself, now the principal at Woodward Granger High School. He's been a mat official for 28 years and has appeared in our state tournament 18 years as an official at our state tournament. And that is Larry Blaker, our Official of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your attention while we honor these great folks. And now we say that in a few minutes, you're going to see one of the great events in the nation in high school athletics, and that's our own Iowa State High School Wrestling Tournament. Thank you.
Our congratulations to all tonight's award winners, and we'll be back with our first weight class in just a moment.
You make it happen in March. You make it happen during Festival.
In a moment, your life can change and begin. It can end. Nature's great African moments.
See it during Festival, Sunday evening, March 13th.
Great programming during Festival. Call 1-800-779-7000 and receive a free copy of Iowa Public Television's March Program Guide, Advance Magazine, to help you plan your festival viewing. There's no obligation. Call 1-800-779-7000 and order your free issue of Advance today.
You are viewing TV worth watching on Iowa Public Television, a resource for Iowa's future.
We're back with Tim Johnson. I'm Doug Brown. Iowa Public Television's 23rd year of coverage of the Boys High School Wrestling Championships. Let's say hello to our floor reporters tonight who'll be telling you about the matches you may not be able to see all of. Dean Borg and Dick Trotter. Gentlemen.
Well, Doug, I'm going to be watching the single A and the double A match tonight interchangeably. A couple of interesting ones I want to tell you about. Ryan Cunningham and Ben Shirt. Ryan is from Forest City and Ben is from Wilton. Both of those young men are coached by their fathers. That's going to be an interesting one starting out on the double A mat first off. And then I'm going to finish up with another interesting one. Sean Strength of Thornburg's ranked number 2 this year. Matt Pawelka of Janesville is ranked number 1. The two wrestled here last year. Pawelka won it, and this is a rematch this year. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top this year. What do you have there?
Dean, I'll be looking at 103 all the way through 145 in 3A competition. And then I'll follow up with the last 4 matches in 2A competition. But we have some individuals tonight outstanding to look at. We're going to look at Lee Fullard of Decorah, who, as a matter of fact, will be looking for title number 3. And then we've got Will Kelly of Dubuque-Wahlert, who's looking for title number 2 along the line, should he get by Todd Beckland of Des Moines-Lincoln. And finally, Eric Juergens at 112 pounds could possibly become a 4-time state champ tonight. He's got to get by a young man named John Blosick of Cedar Rapids, Jefferson. That'll be number 2, and then he can go for his 4th title a couple of years from now. That's a sophomore, Eric Juergens of Coconut. You watch for him. All right, back to you, Doug.
In fact, thank you, gentlemen. In fact, Tim, there are unusual, it seems to me, a number of freshmen and sophomores in those early weights that we're going to be looking at. Now here, let's show you again what the Iowa High School Athletic Association 3-year rotation plan is. That makes it fair. They draw that blind 3 years ahead of time, so nobody knows exactly who's going to be in the weights. First 4 weights are 1A, then 2A, 3A, and this year we picked 3A for the heavyweight because, well, it just came up that way, 275 pounds, and that's the one we start on. Of course, we'll keep up on what's going on in the other match, too, and if a match ends early or there's an injury or there's a timeout that takes a little extra time, we'll be happy to get over and see as much as we can of the other matches too, but it's impossible to show you everything at the same time, more's the pity, TJ. Every year we try to think of some way to do it, and it just doesn't work.
Well, we're going to try our best tonight because we want to have everybody involved.
Those are the 3 mats out there. The one in the middle, by the way, is 1A, the blue mat. That's where the smaller schools will be wrestling. And on the left is the 3A. On the right will be the 2A. And Dean Borg and Dick Trotter will be out getting interviews once in a while, keeping you up on the things that we aren't able to show you. Those are some of the people here, more than 12,000. I don't see any empty seats. Do you, TJ?
It's a sellout.
Lots of people here, coaches from all over the country, looking for prospects. And folks just having a good time watching their relatives and friends and townspeople.
People outside holding up fingers 2 and 3 because they need tickets and they want to get in here, and there's people outside not able to get in, and I guess that's the way you want it. That keeps it exciting.
This is what's happening in 1A. Now, Riceville had a very good day in the consolations. They were matched up pretty evenly coming in, and those over on the right are how many finalists they have to pick up extra points. Riceville and Lisbon certainly going to be on 1 and 2, but Riceville seems to have a pretty good place right now. That'd be the first time in 29 years for the Coach of the Year. Wouldn't that be something? 2A, Clarinda did some damage in the consolation rounds. That consolation on Saturday afternoon makes a lot of difference, you know, how many people you can make come back. Osage, a long-time name, in the sport of wrestling in Iowa. Each has 3 finalists. Wilton's been doing very well, too. Actually, all 5 teams doing well there, and Winterset, too. Now, in the 3A, Indianola, well, they've been out in front the whole way, but it's not quite wrapped up. However, look at all those finalists they have. They have more finalists than any other team.
It's the way you want to go into finals and wanting to just win one to wrap it up.
Well, Wes Creason, who's the Indianola coach, as you can imagine, he's as nervous as a cat. And he knows he's got 4 good wrestlers out there, and he knows he has a terrific one in Keller at 119, but he says, just one of them win quick so I can settle down a little bit.
He's put a lot of years in Indianola, and he's done a great job.
So we're getting ready to go. The time is being taken after the Grand March. Everybody walks around on the mats, and some of the people don't have wrestling shoes on. They scuff around outside and then come in and walk on the mat. So they clean them up and run the brooms and mops all over them to make things go. And as you can tell, people are excited to be here, and they're ready for everybody to start. Cheerleaders are now coming up to the mats. The wrestlers are coming out, and very shortly here we'll be ready to go over the first of the 13 weight classes. We were talking about Creason of Indianola, and this is what we asked him a while ago. We asked him about a team that wasn't really rated first coming in, but here they are battling for the championship. How did it happen, Coach? Hey, Coach, for a team that wasn't ranked that high coming in, you're doing pretty well. How did it happen?
Well, I tell you, we just got on the roll. We had ranked wrestlers 119 with Eric Keller as second this year, and Matt Young was second, 125, and Jeremy Whalen's ranked third at heavyweight, and they came through and got in the finals for us. Casey Aldrich, the unknown, at 152, pulled it out and wrestled real well up here and got in the finals also. So I guess 4 guys carried us through to this place.
That's what happened. That's, you know, sometimes you never know who's going to get you through there. Somebody just has a little extra heart and goes all the way into the finals and does it for you. You've seen that happen. You've coached a few. We're going to be on the 1A mat to start. It just goes 1A, 2A, 3A in our rotation this year. And at 103 pounds, we're going to see wrestling for a state title, Jared Greiner of Pekin Packwood School, and Jeremy Sprague of Bondurant, a junior against a senior. The referee will be Keith Poolman of Charles City. There will be an assistant referee out there, too. They get a good look at things in these matches. And this will be for a state championship at 103.
Well, neither of these wrestlers have had a real hard time getting to the finals, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit.
And along the way, too, as we set them up, we will also give you a chance to see who's on the other mats as well. Jared Greiner of Pekin there, putting on the red guards, and out he comes into the center. He'll be wrestling against Jeremy Sprague of Bondurant.
Jared Greiner had 3 major decisions to get to the finals, and you think that's easy? Well, Jeremy Sprague, 3 falls to the finals. He pinned his way to the finals last year before losing. So these two are definitely the best in the class.
They haven't had anybody give them a real tough time yet. So this should be fun.
They're going to give each other a tough time, I guarantee you that.
Let's just run through these real quick. This spot over here and this spot right here.
And as you can tell, we have a microphone on the referee. Now they want to clean up a little bit more. This is Keith Poolman with a sharp eye out there.
All the way across this way.
He wants to make sure everything is sparkling here. 1A class, 103 pounds. There are 13 classes in high school, as you know. The college weights that we've been watching this year are 10. But we go all the way from 103 through the unlimited class, 275-pound limit in high school.
Maybe just one spot.
Well, Jeremy Sprague from Bondurant was in this finals last year. He was a runner-up. He was also 6th 2 years ago. He's been at 103 3 straight years, and he says, hey, it's my due, it's my time, and you can bet he's not going to let it slip through his hands here without a fight.
Now, Sprague is in the blue. It looks a little bit lighter if you're out somewhere with your little black and white. And there's Jeremy Sprague, second last year, who came right around for the takedown. Now goes into a crossface, and a crossface cradle against Greiner right off the whistle.
Well, right there, he had a 2-on-1. He put on that. He just kind of posted and came around. Loves the cradle, and he is dangerous.
Over on the 2A mat, by the way, it's Ryan Cunningham of Forest City against Ben Shirk of Wilton. Coaches' sons, coached by their fathers out there tonight. And at 3A, it's Casey Doyle of Manchester, West Delaware, against Mark Ryle of Fort Dodge. They're both undefeated. Greiner against Sprague here, and the score is already 4-0 because Sprague got the takedown and a near fall. Now he has that cradle still working.
You know, when you have a great cradle, you have the most dangerous weapon there is as far as pinning combination, because you can't, when you're on your back in a cradle, there's no bridging, you know, and so it's tough. And this looks like a...
He goes with a crossface to it. Goes right, it makes it tough on the way to it. It's 7-0 because that last near fall lasted 5 seconds and better, and it was a 3-pointer.
A switch attempt there by Greiner, foiled by Jeremy Sprague, who is doing a nice job of riding, because he's not just riding, he's slapping that cradle on every time he has a chance.
In high school, every period is 2 minutes long. In the championship round, we have 20 seconds left to go here at 103 pounds, and Jeremy Sprague has had a boomer of a first period against Jared Greiner.
He's showing you why he's the Bondurant Farrar school record holder for the number of career wins. 111 wins. That's a career record for the Bondurant Farrar High School.
Again, the switch failed. Sprague cut it off and gets the leg in.
When I asked him about what his favorite wrestling move is, when we
had him crossface, look at that.
He said, "I like to pin with the cradle."
First period, guys.
Boy, he's tough with that crossface. Look at that, there it is. See?
There he is. He slaps that crossface cradle on, and now he rolls through, and if he could just clear the Greiner's other shoulder, he'd have him flat on the back. But Greiner fights out, keeps his hopes alive.
7-0 at the end of the first period. We're now going into the second period. Greiner in the black uniform. He, you know, in wrestling, if you're a fan and you follow tournaments very much, you know, the way to do it on a scoreboard is you divide them up red and green, and you can always look at the band around the leg, around the ankle of one or the other of the wrestlers, and match it to the scoreboard.
On the 2A mat, Ryan Cunningham and Ben Shirk are 0-0 in the second period. And in 3A, the score is 8-3 in favor of Ryle over Doyle. Ryle from Fort Dodge leading Doyle from West Delaware, 8-3 in the second period.
Yeah, it's about 30 seconds into the second period, so obviously Ryle doing very well. But here, it is Greiner finally getting his chance by starting on top against Sprague, and Greiner trails by 7, so he's going to have to do something.
Well, he is. Look at he's scoring there, and he's a pinner also. He has 21 pins this year so far.
Look at that.
Oh my, wouldn't this be something, Doug? That's so anything can happen.
Down by 7, and look at that. Oh, but he couldn't keep it a reversal. So he traded 2 for 3.
I think it might have just made Sprague mad. 23 pins himself this year, and there he slaps on that cradle.
9-3, and here's that crossface again. Boy, you can see it coming, but you don't know what to do about it. Here it is. He's got the shoulder cleared this time. There it is.
Wow.
Here we go, guys.
Jeremy Sprague of Bondurant wins the title. Last year he was a runner-up. And Jared Greiner of Pekin, well, he'll be back next year. He was a junior this year. He can come back the same way Jeremy Sprague did.
That's right. He'll have more focus, and he'll be on a mission next year, just like Jeremy Sprague was, just like you said, Doug.
And so,
happy coach Ken Essling right there. 25 years in coaching, 24th year at Bondurant Farrar, and he has a state champion who had one of the best cradles I've seen in the finals in years, and uses it for a fall.
As you said, he had to clear the shoulder there, but you could tell he knew he had it cleared, and boy, he got it. We're going now over to 2A between Ryan Cunningham and Ben Shirk. This is the one we were telling you about. There's the battle between young men who are coached by their fathers, both of them. Cunningham of Forest City, only a sophomore. Ben Shirk, coached by Steve Shirk at Wilton. He's a freshman.
Yep, and Steve Shirk just was named 2A Coach of the Year at Wilton. Been there 15 years at Wilton as the head wrestling coach.
We just started the third period. The score is 1-0 in favor of Cunningham, the sophomore over the freshman. And Cunningham is in the up position. He's riding on top. He's the one who matches the mat. He's wearing the red uniform. And you can see him trying to cross-face in there, too. Stalemate, says referee.
Well, you guessed it. His favorite ride and his favorite pin is cradle. That's Cunningham. Man in red. He likes to stabilize his man and then slap on a cradle. Right now he's got the legs in, trying to stretch him out. Ben Shirk, only a freshman. Here he is in the final.
Yeah, often you see in these very lowest weights, 103, some of the people are freshmen and sophomores, and then occasionally you'll see them grow on up into the much bigger weights.
Well, Dave Cunningham, wrestling fans remember, as a three-time All-American at Northern Iowa, coached by Chuck Patton, and now he's coaching his son. And probably if you asked him, the greater thrill is right now tonight.
Well, he's going to have him for 2 more years after this, too, and Steve Shirk is going to have his son 3 more years on the team. Could be worse for both these teams. Wilton has been in the hunt here in the 2A. They are right now in 3rd place. And Cunningham continues on top. He's leading 1-0 and doing well. Now, here it came. Shirk has reversed him. Now takes the lead 2-1. The first points for Ben Shirk. And 30 seconds to go now. It's up for grabs here. Cunningham has to get away or lose.
Well, he's grabbed that wrist right there, and he was able to keep Cunningham down by grabbing the cross wrist there and riding. We'll see how he starts right here, because they have to explode.
Very
Cunningham
important.
Can't be sitting on his hips like that. He needs to come up hard.
And he has 14, 13, 12 will count it down for you. He's looking good here for a title as a freshman.
And when you're a freshman and you've got a title in your hand, you're always thinking about a few other things. That's the next title and the next title and the next title.
9 seconds to go.
9 seconds to see.
And Shirk almost put Cunningham on his back there at the end, and he's going to win a title as a freshman. You always think of 4 times, maybe.
That's right. Coach Shirk, his dad, Steve Shirk, said, you know, I've just got so much confidence in Ben. And I asked him if he was nervous. He says, well, I'm a little bit nervous, but I just really feel like he's going to win.
And he did in the last period. In the last period. But again, Ryan Cunningham of Forest City wrestled a good match, and he can come back 2 more years.
And we talk about relationships, and there's one of the neatest one in the sport, that father-son.
Well, I'd say there's a little satisfaction there on both sides. And the winning takedown, the winning reversal came right here. He rolled up, had the leg. And that was the difference right there, 2-1. We weren't able to get over to 3A before they finished, but Mark Ryle won there over Casey Doyle, 11-5. Fort Dodge's Mark Ryle finished an undefeated year, 37-0. And Casey Doyle of Manchester, West Delaware, lost for the first time to an outstanding wrestler, Mark Ryle. Okay, that's the first weight. We have 13 weights altogether, so you've seen just a very few minutes of what's going to be a good night. Here's Dick Trotter with a floor report.
All right, we saw in the first match at 103 pounds, the champion Mark Ryle of Fort Dodge defeated another sophomore, Casey Doyle of Manchester, West Delaware. It was a hunker, 11-5. Ryle, your winner from Fort Dodge. Now back to you, Doug.
Thank you, Dick. We'll be hearing from Dean Borg and Dick Trotter all night long. We'll try to catch you up on anything you don't see much of, and they'll have interviews too along the way. Now we'll go to 112 pounds. Remember, in these early first 4 weight classes, we begin at the 1A in the Iowa High School Athletic Association rotation. And at the 1A class, we'll have Mark Van Beek of Rock Valley up against Nick Field of Woodward. West Granger, he's a sophomore, coached by Brent Helmkamp. The official will be Dr. James McCord of Alden, Iowa, in this 1A match at 112 pounds. Now the other matches at 2A, it's Jody Beck of Cresco against Nick Marin of West Liberty, both underclassmen as well. And at the 3A mat, you'll see John Vlasic of Cedar Rapids Jefferson wrestle a man who has 69 wins in a row, Eric Juergens of Maquoketa, undefeated this year in 35 goes. We're at it at 1A, first period. They've gone about 15 seconds. Mark Van Beek of Rock Valley, who is in the black and the orange, against Nick Marin of West Liberty, wrestling in the green uniform. Nick Field, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong weight class here. That's the first space out here with 3 mats going at the same time. Mark Van Beek of Rock Valley in the red with the black uniform on, and Nick Field of Woodward Granger in the green.
Well, Nick Field's a real interesting story. What a heartwarming story the Field brothers are. Nick and his brother Jay. Of course, they came into this tournament, and they are wrestling in for the memory and for their dad. They said he taught us how to do this, and their father, former Woodward Granger coach Dennis Field, died of cancer in 1989, and now they're wrestling for dad, and here Nick is in the finals, and his brother Jay finished third, won 4 straight matches in the consolations yesterday and today to come back and finish third, and so they're wrestling hard.
Mark Van Beek has gone up 2-0 over Nick Field. He got the first takedown here, and you see him working from the side to try to tilt.
Here's the ride, Red. Attack.
Nick Field up and get some back points. Here it is. That's a nice tilt. If he can hold him for 5 seconds, he'll get 2. He'll get 3. He wasn't able to do it.
2-point near fall, Red.
2-point near fall makes it 4-0 Van
Bring
Beek.
you down this way.
1A class, 112 pounds, from Veterans Auditorium, live over Iowa Public Television. Tim Johnson and I'm Doug Brown, here to show you as much as we can of this great tournament. Year after year after year, a thrill for more than 12,000 fans here in Betts and a statewide audience. There's Van Beek, up 4-0 on top and doing very well.
Well, he's a tough wrestler, 35-1 this year, and his only loss is to Chris Nelson from Spencer, who's in 3A. Here he is, looks right now, he's got things in control. Only a sophomore, so is Nick Field from Woodward Granger, only a sophomore, so we'll see a lot of them in the future.
Mark Van Beek there at the bottom of your screen. That's the end of the first period. Van Beek won the first period 4-0, and he's leading by 4 here as we go to another 2 minutes. This time it's Field getting his choice, going under. Starting under, trying to get away, hasn't been able to do it off the whistle. Van Beek showing a lot of power off the whistle. Roll by Field. There was a pinning combination up in the AAA match. In the 2A match, there it is. You see Jody Beck and Nick Marin.
Just wash it out.
And the man causing all the trouble there is Nick Marin of West Liberty. Score is 7-6, so that one has a long ways to go. There's time out here at 1A. The score 4-0 Van Beek over Field. Field in the green. Going down again. He hasn't been able to get out from under Van Beek. Again, he couldn't make that. That first move is so tough, and Van Beek is strong.
Well, he stopped the first move there because he really caught the arm, and then he established himself, and now he's just trying to control. And look at, after that cradle again, he wants to try to score here on top. He's not just riding to ride. He's got the arm trap, the cross arm right there.
It's amazing how much energy some of these young people have. They really get out there and fire up.
Nick Field trying to suck Van Beek under so that he can cast over and maybe get Van Beek in trouble there. He's working. If he could clear his arm there.
Let's step across like that.
Cleared, and he's trying to step across, but Van Beek did a nice job of coming back and avoiding.
And there's a reversal.
Because of the quickness and because he didn't give up, Nick Field came back and got 2 points.
It's 4-2 now. Let's look at the time. 50 seconds to go in the second period. Van Beek in the black and orange uniform is leading, but he is being pushed around a little bit here by Nick Field. Van Beek looking tough if he can get his arms out.
And he's going to slip it out here, I think, before the end of the period. There's 25 seconds left.
Field is holding him pretty well. Well, can he do it? 20 seconds to go. There it is, the reversal. 6-2 in favor of Van Beek.
Off the toe, Green.
And again, he puts the leg in and goes to work on the side. He's the rangier of the two, as you can tell, and that is an advantage in this sport if everything else is equal. End of the second period. 6-2 in favor of Van Beek, the man on your left.
At the other mats in 3A, it's John Vlasic from Cedar Rapids Jefferson trailing Eric Jurgens 13-8. Jurgens, who has never lost a match in high school, won 69 in a row from Makokata, is ahead 13-8. And on the 2A mat, it's a close 7-6 lead for Nick Marin from West Liberty over Jody Beck from Cresco. Marin leading 7-6 over Beck.
And they're just starting the last period down there. We'll try to keep you up on this. Again, Fields is the man who started on top. Van Beek had his choice in the third period and went under. He's ahead by 4. He leads, and Field has to turn him over, and I think this is going to be called a stalemate. It is by Dr. James McCord.
Sit down. Down and get set, Red.
Nick Field is the one wearing the face protector there for an injury. He has to turn Van Beek over. This is the 112-pound class. You're looking up in the corner there.
At 2A, where it's 8-7 now, and it's a switch of fortunes there with Jody Beck from Cresco going ahead of Nick Marin, 8-7.
We're following the Iowa High School Athletic Association rotation system, where we begin with the predetermined 3 years round. In the first 4 weight classes, we start with the 1A and then keep you up on the rest of the classes as we can. Here's Nick Field on top, but he needs 4 points.
Well, his coach, Brent Helmkamp, he's trying his hardest to encourage him from the corner there.
This is one of those situations where Van Beek, they both weigh 112, but Van Beek just somehow looks bigger. You know, he's taller.
Yeah, he is, and looks like he's just a little more physical.
We have 45 seconds to go in the third period, and now Field is having to scramble to keep losing the position. He's trailing by 4. They go back to the middle after a stalemate.
Okay, get set.
A lot of coaches get nervous too. Look at that.
There, yeah, that's Brent Helmkamp, the coach of Woodward Granger.
Field wants to get some kind of a pinning combination if he can, but he hasn't been able to come close, and we have 30 seconds to go. 4-point deficit here to make up.
They finished a high-scoring match on 3A where Eric Jurgens remained undefeated for his high school career, winning 15-10 over John Vlasic. It's Jurgens from Makokata over Vlasic from Jefferson.
15 seconds to go here at 1A. Mark Van Beek is on the under position, but he doesn't have to worry about it as long as nothing happens dangerous under there, because he's ahead by 4 points. Field is unable to turn him, and the match ended right there.
In the match, gentlemen.
A sophomore from Rock Valley High School, Mark Van Beek, is the new state champion in the 1A class at 112 pounds.
And Nick Marin has come from behind and won 9-8 over Jody Beck. Marin from West Liberty, the champion at 2A, with a close 9-8 victory over Jody Beck from Cresco Crestwood.
You're looking at Mark Van Beek, 6-2. Let's go to the award stand now. We're going to show you the top 6 place winners at 103 in each class.
Presenting the Class 1A 103-pound awards, Coach Ken Essling of Bondurant Farrar. 6th place, Trace Landers, Green. 5th place, J.D. Pugh, Columbus Junction. 4th place, Rick Schweitzberger, Kingsley Pearson. 3rd place, Jay Field, Woodward Granger. Runner-up, Jared Griner, Pekin Packwood. And the 103-pound 1A champion from Bondurant Farrar, Jeremy Sprague.
Jeremy Sprague. He may have the only mustache among the award winners tonight. I'm not sure. I don't think I saw another one. Jeremy's the winner at 103. Our goal here is to let you get a look at everybody on the stand, all 6 place winners in every class up there, so you can see. Maybe you didn't find out today how the constellations came out. Here are the 2A winners.
Coach Steve Shirk of Wilton. 6th place, Cannon Grotegut, Walk On. 5th place, Zach Wagland, New Hampton. 4th place, Brian Bothell, West Liberty. 3rd place, Sam Gibson, Stewart, West Central. Runner-up, Ryan Cunningham, Forest City. And the 2A 103-pound champion from Wilton, Ben Shirk.
A freshman, coached by his dad, and the coach always gets to put the award there. He's the one who presents them all. Now we have the 3A class to go. 103-pound place winners. Our next wrestling round will be at 119, coming right up here on Iowa Public Television, the state championships.
103-pound awards, Coach Ed Birnbaum of Fort Dodge. 6th place, Corey Garner, Epworth, Western Dubuque. 5th place, Jeremy White, Cedar Rapids, Jefferson. 4th place, Josh Budke, Cedar Falls. 3rd place, Nick Mitchell, Johnston. Runner-up, Casey Doyle, Manchester, West Delaware. And the Class 3A 103-pound champion from Fort Dodge, Mark Ryle.
The winner. Let's go to a floor report from Dean Board.
Well, Doug, I was on the 2A mat with Jody Beck and Nick Marin. Beck from Cresco and Marin from West Liberty, both first time here at the state tournament. Marin was trailing with 30 seconds to go, 8-7, behind Beck. He scored in that last 30 seconds a reversal, and he pulled the match out, 9-8 decision. And so the champion is Nick Marin, a 15-year-old sophomore from West Liberty at 2A. Nick?
All right, Dean, another sophomore won in 3A competition. Young Eric Juergens from Maquoketa defeated the senior John Vlasic of Cedar Rapids Jefferson 15-10 in a demonstration of takedowns. 3, as a matter of fact, in the 3rd period. He's a second-time winner, undefeated in his high school career now. Let's go back to Doug.
Has a chance to be a 4-timer again. You always look ahead. He looks like the real thing, too, young Mr. Juergens. 119 pounds coming up, Tim Johnson. We have the 1A class to start. This is Don LaGrange of Montezuma against Jason Keenan of Ogden, who is going for his 3rd championship. He's a junior.
You see,
what a 68 in a row.
And that's a slick, very slick duck under that he used right there for the takedown.
They're both wearing blue, but the man on top is Keenan. At 2A, Dan Casey of Clarinda, the team that's leading the tournament, is wrestling Jason Holupnik of Centerville. They're 2 juniors with outstanding records.
1, 2,
and on the 3A mat, it's a real comer, Nick Dorman of Iowa City, undefeated against Eric Keller of Indianola. Indianola needs 1 win to clinch the 3A championship. Score here is 4-0 in favor of Keenan.
And it looked like we just caught a glimpse that Keller was on his way to scoring some big points there. We'll keep you updated on that.
Nick Dorman has been no slouch down there, too, for Iowa City West. It's been a big surprise.
There's the pin. There's the possible pin combination. That's Keller. And here's Dorman coming up out of it from Iowa City West. Got out of a very dangerous situation. That's why he's 41-0 going into the finals tonight.
All right, we'll keep you up on that. Our principal sighting here right now is at the 1A with Keenan of Ogden. He's the one with the white stripe up the side. He's also wearing the green ankle wrap. Sometimes that's the only way you can tell them apart.
Well, LaGrange, this is his 3rd time at the state tournament, and he went out both times before in the 1st round, so here he is in the finals, and very focused young man. He had to come from behind in the semis to make it here.
Jason Keenan, 30 and zip, coming into this match. He's forcing that half Nelson on top. That's just power wrestling. And he has LaGrange on his back. Now he's getting tough. He looks tougher for the pin here.
He's already had 2 falls in the first 2 rounds of this tournament. Jason Keenan from Ogden has, and he won 8-4 in the semis. So he's got the Montezuma wrestler tight. LaGrange is in trouble.
He's a real worker up there on top, isn't he? He knows what he's doing. He knows where the... As has a feel for the position. That's a 3-point near fall. The period ended before a pin could be made. It's 7-0.
Yep.
It's 6-3 on the 3A mat. 6-3 with Eric Keller from Indianola leading Nick Dorman from Iowa City West.
And it's 2-0 with Jason Halupnik leading Casey on the 2A mat. Now there's that near fall again.
Green will rise.
That was close. It was. That's the proverbial saved by the bell, because that was a very, very tight pinning combination.
Get into there, cover.
Now Keenan gets to start on top again. Did LaGrange pick under? I think maybe he did. He feels he has to come out to get ahead, but he has not been able to get away from Keenan at all. Keenan is willing to go very high. You see him up, maybe above where you might.
There he goes, right into a pinning combination. Out of his 30 wins this year, he has 22 falls, so he is a pinner.
That cradle again. It's 10-0, and if he gets ahead by 15, it's a technical fall.
Jason Keenan, when asked what his biggest accomplishment as a wrestler this season was, he said 22 pins. He really focuses on the pin. When he comes off the mat without a pin, he thinks he hasn't quite accomplished the ultimate. And he's right as far as the ultimate in our sport. We love to see pins. The fans love to see pins.
Look at him, that force half Nelson. Boy, this is one of those situations where you look out, here he comes again.
Brian Reimers, his coach, real excited. He started the wrestling program in Ogden 15 years ago.
He has a tight half.
Yeah, look at that.
Uh-oh.
There we go again, and we have a lot of time left. 1 minute left. If he can remain chest to chest, he did it.
Has a lot of confidence, doesn't he, Jason Keenan? And
third state championship.
If you'd won your third straight championship, you'd have a lot of confidence, too. He's in line for 4.
That's right. We've got 9 in the history of the sport, and this young man could be the 10th. Next year, there he is, hugged by his coach, Brian Reimers, in his 15th year as a head coach. And
this is the look again at the coach down here.
Yes, that's 3, he says.
Good effort this year by Don LaGrange of Montezuma. He ran up against a 3-timer. And here we go.
And a takedown almost. Oh, it looks like Dorman's coming around, and he does. He gets the 2.
And the score is now
7-7 going into the third period.
Going into the third. And Indianola, as we said, needs 1 victory in 4 final matches to clinch the 3A championship. And this is the first crack they have at it. Now, you were telling me, TJ, that the coaches have been, they've gone on the alert from this young Nick Dorman.
Well,
Iowa City West.
I was talking to some college recruiters, and they said Dorman is really the surprise for the college recruiters this year, because he's really come out of nowhere, coached by Scott Williamson, former Lisbon wrestler, and now the Iowa City West head coach. And all of a sudden, 41-0, looking tough. And he's looking tough in this match, too, coming from behind.
That's Nick Dorman.
He's very competitive and focused. He was really just told by his coach to develop a new shot in December, and he spent many days practicing and perfecting it. And so the combination of that coach working with the wrestler has come out with a better, more focused, more highly technical wrestler.
The timeout is for the medical timeout for Eric Keller of Indianola. Have a trainer out looking at him. There's Coach Wes Creason of Indianola, looking for a state championship if he can get one of his 4 finalists through tonight.
Well, you know, and we were talking about Dorman as far as being a surprise. He beat Bellows, the defending state champion, at this weight 12-7 earlier to end an 86-match winning streak. And that was just to get here.
By the way, in the 2A class, 2A is 4-0 in favor of Halupnik of Centerville, a junior, over Dan Casey of Clarinda. Clarinda is in first place, and a win would just about clinch things for them, too. But Mike Moreno's team, first-year coach Mike Moreno, went to Iowa State, if you remember, took over the Clarinda team this year and got them into the first place in the finals here. Now we're back at work again on the 3A mat at 119 pounds. The 1A ended early with Keenan of Ogden winning a pin. So here we are between Nick Dorman of Iowa City. He's the man tying the shoe on the right with a light top.
Whoa. There's some excitement up there in the corner and over on that 2A match.
That was Halupnik.
With that, that's his dad hugging him. Another father-son combination, another father-son state championship.
Now the score here is 7-7. Dorman of Iowa City West underneath, Eric Keller of Indianola on top. We are a minute 35 away from the end of the match, just in the second period.
Keller, a 4-time state place winner, was 6th as a freshman. First and won it as a freshman, was 3rd last year. I mean, won it as a sophomore. 3rd last year at 112, and now back in the finals.
Nothing gained there, out of bounds, however. Dorman gets a fresh start. It's 7-7 with a minute 18 to go. We're at 119 pounds live from Veterans Auditorium. The 1994 High School Wrestling Championships. And this is a real nose-to-nose big match between two very good wrestlers, Dorman and Keller. 7-7.
Keller is one of 3 seniors in the finals who have wrestled together since 2nd grade for Indianola. So they're pretty excited about what they've accomplished this year.
Keller gets the leg in. He's in good shape here on top.
But Keller's been warned now on top here for stalling. And so he's going to have to do something, or that 7-7 score isn't going to stay 7-7, because he now has a warning for stalling.
Trying to force Dorman over into a near fall position. Not much prospect of pinning him there, but maybe get the shoulders turned, and he wasn't able to do it. Here he comes again.
Well, he's going to get the ref off his back for stalling, I'll tell you that with that.
This is a question of a near fall. Looks like did he get it?
I don't think so.
Wasn't able to stop
back and forth, and only 25 seconds left in this match.
Now Dorman has rolled again. He's been doing that a couple of times trying to get out, but Keller doing very well on top.
He's a leech. He just really hangs on, and but he's a little high now. Only 8 seconds left, and
Keller reverses him. Keller couldn't.
It's one
to get out.
It's going to be one,
and he is 8-7 up with 3 seconds to go. All he needed was an escape, and you hate when you're the other man riding so well to have it happen that late. Eric Keller calling for a medical timeout.
Wes Creason's coach, who's done such a tremendous job at Indianola, has his team in a position to win their first state title. Creason out of Coe College and North Polk High School, doing a great job over there at Indianola. And you're right, he's nervous. He wants to get that one, and it doesn't look good in this first attempt.
And you can see why. Makes you very nervous. You say, I've got 4 people. All I have to do is win one. Well, the first one maybe doesn't make it.
Well, I tell you right now, Coach Creason isn't even thinking about the team title. He just feels bad. Right.
Whoa! What a takeout!
They just won the state title. Look at that!
Whoa! What a comeback!
What a victory!
Concentration.
Man. I'll tell you, I'll finish my thought. Coach Creason is, I think, more happy for that young man as an individual, just slightly, than the state championship.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's a no give up. That's a fantastic example of never giving up.
He had 3 seconds to go. He had, let's see it.
In on the single, drives in and covers those hips. Takes any opportunity for Dorman to, kind of tie up his leg away from him, because he covered up his hips so well inside 3 seconds. And look at Wes Creason. He says, can you believe it, to Travis Young, his assistant coach.
Indianola's the champions. Let's go to the award stand at 112 pounds, 1A.
Into the auditorium. Presenting the Class 1A 112-pound awards, Coach Kent Eknes of Rock Valley. 6th place, Jimmy Rogers, Oakland Riverside. 5th place, Aaron Prescolt, Mason City Newman. 4th place, Tim Backer, Clarksville. 3rd place, Tyson Dukes, Mount Ayr. Runner-up, Nick Field, Woodward Granger. And the 1A 112-pound champion from Rock Valley, Mark Van Beek.
Crowd is still buzzing here about that last 3 seconds there. That just goes to show you, don't count your chickens, because 3 seconds is enough.
2A 112-pound awards, Coach Kurt Deemer of West Liberty. 6th place, Brett Steffen, LaPorte City Union. 5th place, Adam Krein, Humboldt. 4th place, Corey Phillips, New Hampton. 3rd place, Tracy Adams, Winterset. Runner-up, Jody Beck, Cresco Crestwood. And the 2A 112-pound champion from West Liberty, Nick Marin.
Attaboy Nick, he came from behind in the last half minute to win that championship at 112 pounds. Those are the 2As. Now we have the 3As coming up. The next wrestling round will be at 125 pounds. We'll be looking at a young man from Rock Valley who's won 72 straight matches.
112-pound awards, Coach Jeff Campier of Maquoketa. 6th place, Robert Rivas, Des Moines East. 5th place, Ben Barnes, Johnston. 4th place, Chris Nelson, Spencer. 3rd place, Chad Wickman, Manchester, West Delaware. Runner-up, John Vlasic, Cedar Rapids, Jefferson. And the 3A 112-pound champion from Maquoketa, Eric Jurgens.
Keep your eye on that young man. He's only a sophomore. Could win 4. Let's go to Dean Board for a floor report.
Doug, Dan Casey of Clarinda hoped tonight would be different. He was runner-up here last year. 3 times he'd lost to the man that he'd wrestling tonight, Jason Hlupnik, and it turned out he lost again tonight in a very tight match, 4-0. Hlupnik is the champion at 119 pounds. He leaps into the arms of his coach, just happens to be his dad, Mike Hlupnik. And now here's Dick Trotter with Jason Keenan.
Yes, Dean, as a matter of fact, the young man with me here at 119 pounds, the 1A state champion, Jason Keenan, is Ogden's 1, 2, and 3rd state champion in a row. Jason, what were you thinking about the first few seconds of that match, looking at 3 in a row?
I wasn't really thinking about much. I was hoping to get the first takedown, and I knew if I could get that, I thought I could handle the match pretty well, and I just went out there and tried to turn him as much as I could during the match.
And you had control throughout until the fall right at the end.
Yes, I did. I was working on a fall here, and I kind of lost my balance on the... He was turning too quick. He was pretty muscular, and I couldn't quite get into it, so I had to reposition myself, and that was about it.
Very good, Jason. Thank you very, very much. And we want to remind you that next year we'll be looking for you again. Now let's get back to Doug.
Congratulations, Jason. Let's go to 125 pounds now. We're still with the 1As at the beginning. When we get to 130, we'll move to the 2A class. We'll rotate in the rotation system. This is Colby Yoder of Belmont against Kirk Eckness, coached by his dad, Ken Eckness, at Rock Valley. Kirk has won 72 straight matches, and he is in the black on the right with the green anklet. And he's the man who just went in on that double leg and got a takedown. Up at the 2A match, Ben Scorpel of West Liberty, a freshman, against Will Thompson of Jefferson, who is a senior. Unusual, I guess, to have a freshman at 125 against a senior. In 3A, Victor Martinez of Fort Madison wrestles Matt Young of Indianola. There's the next chance for Indianola to win a title. Well, Young can come through.
They've won the title. That was.
Oh, that's right. Keller. Oh, good heavens! Here I am thinking 3 seconds ahead of time. My gosh.
Told them to get the watch.
Here's the 3A right here, and this is Young in on the single right here with Martinez from Fort Madison. What he's trying to do is get his position so that he can finish it off, and he just does for 2 points. Tough single leg shot right there.
And now we're going back to 1A, the match we started with Yoder and Eckness.
Back to the father knows best match, where both kids are coached by their father. John Yoder, of course, coaching Colby Yoder, and Kent Eckness coaching Kurt Eckness.
Colby is undefeated this year, and so is Kurt Eckness.
Colby, only a junior, likes to be on his feet. He likes to stay on his feet and attempt his outside singles and firemen's. Uses a lot of things.
He's on the left there. We're in the Broncos across the middle there from Belmont.
His dad said he's having a hard time. John Yoder says that he's having a hard time getting Colby to open up. He's won 3 one-point matches in a row to get to the finals. And his closest match all year was 6-2 before this tournament. But what I see is he knows how to win when the pressure's on. And of course we know that Kurt Eckness knows how to win with 72 straight wins.
Pretty good double leg, too, I'll tell you.
Great double leg. In on those hips. Takes all the power away from Colby.
2-0. He just drove right into him and drove straight through him. It's 45 seconds to go in the first period. 125-pound championship 1A.
Eknes was third as a freshman at 103, was a qualifier at 119 2 years ago as a sophomore, and then won a state title last year at 119.
He's again, he's rangier than Colby Yoder, just a little bit. And he's more aggressive at the moment. Makes him look a little bigger, too, you know. When you're more aggressive, you look a little bigger.
Kirk Eknes has an appointment to the Air Force Academy next year. He's also considering other schools, but he has already won an appointment to the Air Force Academy. Great young man. He's had a great wrestling career, trying to finish it off with 2 in a row.
Sounds like he's does pretty well in the classroom, too. That's the end of the first period. It's 2-1 in favor of Eknes. He has his choice, defers to Yoder. Yoder has a choice.
Here's the 3A. Indianola has clinched the 3A win with 85 points. They might put a few more on, but the important thing is gold medal, gold trophy for Indianola, their first win.
Fort Dodge has moved out ahead of Prairie in second place. Prairie still has a couple of wrestlers to go.
So Prairie still has an opportunity to finish second.
Eknes started the second period leading 2-1 and on top. Well, they'll be telling that story for years, won't they? They'll remember that. 3 seconds to go and he wins the state title.
And won the state title for his team.
For his team.
There's John Yoder, coach and father of his son. His son was also the leading rusher, all District 3 safety, leading rusher on his team. Guess who the head football coach was?
I can't imagine.
His father, John Yoder.
Thought you were going to say his mother.
And Colby was also a 2-year state qualifier in relays that have finished runner-up in the state. So he's quite an athlete for Belmont.
And he's now evened up the match. He just escaped from Eknes. The score is 2-2. But Yoder in the blue is going to have to figure out a way to take Eknes down. Eknes is a little more forceful on the feet right now. And he has the only takedown. That's a reach by Yoder. And he's going to have to do better than that.
You know, Kent Eknes, Kirk's dad, has done a great job as the coach at Rock Valley. He's been there 22 years at Rock Valley. Just lately, they've had a great dual meet tradition. Dual team state, 4th in 1989, 3rd in 1990, 3rd in 1993 last year. They've really built a great program, solid, consistent program at Rock Valley. They're Kent Eknes from Rock Valley, 22 years at Rock Valley as head coach, another 2 as an assistant, 24 years. Next year will be his 25th anniversary as Rock Valley's wrestling coach.
It's amazing how the years go by. We've been doing Iowa State Championships now for 23 years. Ron Seaman was telling us that the Predicament Iowa Wrestling newspaper is going to be 25 years old next year. And we're 2-2 here with 45 seconds to go in the second period. There's another long outside shot by Eknes. He's tough with that double, but I think it may have happened out of bounds there. No, it happened inbounds. That's the second time he's taken that double leg home.
Well, it's a great double leg. He's in solid on it. There's no hesitation. Hits the center of Yoder's body, just really solid.
So Yoder underneath to stay undefeated, to win a state title, has to make up at least 2 points here.
Eknes, of course, also undefeated, 36-0 this year, with 21 pins. His career record, 136 wins and only 4 losses, Doug.
And as we said, the last 72 straight victories. Eknes leading by 2, hanging on to the leg. In the position of advantage, and Yoder got the period in the same spot.
We've got a couple of real close matches in the other. In 2A, the leader is Scorpel.
Green takes down
over Thompson 2-1 with only 45 seconds left. And with only 45 seconds left in 3A, it's a close 7-6 lead for Matt Young over Victor Martinez.
And here it's 4-2 in favor of Eknes, the man underneath, who started the second period underneath. Yoder trying to tilt him.
It's close. He's trying to load him up there and just get a couple of cheap tilt points right there.
Didn't make it. So Yoder has to make up 2. He looks comfortable on the top.
As he likes to look at, he works on that wrist right there, and he's trying to pull that wrist in, run a half, or pull him over for a tilt for 2 points.
Stalemate. Start again.
He looks more comfortable on top than he did on the bottom, on the feet.
And it looks like we're going to have a real close finish over on 3A. There's John Yoder yelling encouragement to his son.
Set. Cover top, man.
Colby Yoder on top, but trailing by 2. Eknes faces off and comes out, gets the escape, and now leads by 3.
Fort Madison gets a champion in Victor Martinez with a come-from-behind 8-7 win over Matt Young from Indianola in 3A. And we're in overtime in 2A.
3-3 between Scorpel and Thompson. A freshman against a senior. How about that?
And that's Scorpel in. There's Yoder is trying to underhook, work on that underhook and set something up there so he can get in and kind of whittle down that 5-2 lead.
Eknes very aggressive with that
double again.
And that's almost a mirror of the last one, but this one happened out of bounds. 5-2 with 43 seconds to go. Still in overtime at 2A between Scorpel and Thompson. An undefeated senior against a freshman over there. 3-3. They've gone through a minute of overtime. Here again, you see Eknes in with a double leg once more. And bam, he has his 3rd takedown. He leads 7-2.
Boy, when he hits that double, he hits it and drives through. It's the old to and through. He doesn't just go to it, his man. He drives through the man, and that's what has made him successful in those double legs against Yoder from Belmont.
He puts his shoulder in your pancreas, you know, and then goes from there. He drives in home very hard.
Ready, get set. Cover.
And the winner against the senior against the freshman, the senior pulls out the win with a takedown right at the end with 30 seconds left in the overtime.
Good match, man.
That was a 2A. Here we are at 3A, just finishing up.
Here.
It is now 7-2 at the end. The winner is Kirk Eknes of Rock Valley, his 73rd straight win.
Go this way.
Congratulations to Rock Valley. There's his dad, his coach.
Boy, we're seeing a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, sure are. Lots of fathers coaching sons. 125-pound class is history now in the 1994 High School Wrestling Championships on Iowa Public Television. Coming to you live from Veterans Auditorium. Here are the awards at 119.
East end of the auditorium. Presenting the Class 1A 119-pound awards, Coach Brian Reimers of Ogden. 6th place, Brian Wallace, Logan Magnolia. 5th place, Nate Treese, Green. 4th place, Jay Collins, Underwood. 3rd place, Shannon Phillips, I-35. Runner-up, Don LaGrange, Montezuma. And the Class 1A 119-pound champion from Ogden, Jason Keenan.
Jason Keenan, that's his 3rd championship. He'll be back. He's in line for a 4th. Those are the 1A winners at 119. Now let's go to 2A.
Presenting the Class 2A 119-pound awards, Coach Mike Halupnik of Centerville. 6th place, Jeff Ward, Storm Lake. 5th place, Bobby Gonczarowski, Washington. 4th place, Chris Wieselman, Pella. 3rd place, Chad Bennett, Huxley Ballard. Runner-up, Dan Casey, Clarinda. The Class 2A 119-pound champion from Centerville, Jason Halupnik.
He won 4-0. 2-0. That's a good smile from the champion there, Jason Halupnik. Our next wrestling round will be at 130 pounds. We'll be moving up, by the way, to the 2A division for the next 4 weights to start.
Presenting the Class 3A 119-pound awards, Coach Wes Creason of Indianola. 6th place, A.J. Williams, Cedar Rapids, Jefferson. 5th place, Nick Flock, Fort Madison. 4th place, Keith Weber, Dubuque Senior. 3rd place, Jeff Bellows, Lewis Central Council Bluffs. Runner-up, Nick Dorman, Iowa City West. And the 3A 119-pound champion from Indianola, Eric Keller.
The champion, he won it in the last 3 seconds on an amazing takedown. Let's go to Dean Borg.
Well, Doug, at 125 pounds on the 2A mat, it was a 15-year-old freshman, Ben Scorpel of West Liberty, against an 18-year-old Will Thompson of Jefferson Scranton. And the freshman pulled it out into an overtime with a 2-second escape in regulation time. But then, after a minute and a half into the overtime, he succumbed to a takedown and he lost 5-3. The champion is Will Thompson of Jefferson Scranton. Dick?
Well, in 3A competition, Dean, the last 10 seconds are getting very exciting. Victor Martinez waited until that time for a takedown on his opponent, Matt Young of Indianola, in a great match. Here you see Martinez, who was second just a year ago, now a state champion, and appropriately, he's a senior. Back to you, Doug.
We've had some good ones here at all the mats, and we're going to be moving down to AA for the next 4 weights, 130 and 135 and 140 and 145. Then we'll be going up to 3As for the next weights after that. Here we're going to start with an Emmetsburg senior, Mark Brandenburg, and an Iowa Falls senior, Ben Shane. Mark Brandenburg was the champion last year at a lower weight, 125 pounds. Ben Shane finished 4th at this weight last year and is undefeated.
He qualified also as a sophomore, so this is his 3rd trip to the state tournament.
That's Emmetsburg on the left in the yellow top, Emmetsburg, and Shane on the right. That's a long shot by Brandenburg. It's a little bit too long. But the other matches are going to be coming up here too. We're going to show you what happens up at first at 1A. This is Tony Milkoff, undefeated, Cedar Rapids LaSalle against Chris Jones of Central Decatur. Takedown for Brandenburg, first takedown here at this mat. Then at the 2A, at the AAA match, 3A, Will Kelly of Dubuque Wahlert, undefeated, against Des Moines Lincoln's Todd Buckland. We'll keep an eye on those.
Well, this is Mark Brandenburg's 4th trip to the state tournament. He was a qualifier a couple of years ago and placed as a freshman, 5th, and then last year he won the state championship. So this is his 2nd trip to the finals and hoping to make it 2 in a row for state championships. That's Brandenburg from Emmetsburg.
Tight waist. You see him down with a head lever there a while ago trying to work in that top position, turn his band over. There's no such thing as riding time in high school, so it doesn't do you any good just to sit up there. You need to go after the fall. And that hold is considered potentially dangerous by official John Monroe. Referee is John Monroe of Indianola. Brandenburg of Emmetsburg. That mat is the 3A between Kelly and Buckland. And it's 2-0 up there in favor of Kelly.
Kelly 29-0 coming into the finals tonight. 2-0.
2-0
for Will Kelly.
Let's work. Let's go, buddy.
That's Lincoln, Des Moines Lincoln's first wrestler in the finals for a long, long time. I know they had a state champion in Larry Hayes a long time ago, but I haven't seen a Des Moines Lincoln wrestler. It's great to see Mike McGivern, the coach there, with his wrestler in the finals at Des Moines Lincoln.
Ben Shane coming over here to...
His nose or his mouth?
For an injury time.
Oh, yeah.
And the injury time was taken by Brandenburg.
He's talking to his coach, Don Cox, who has been a head coach for 9 years, but this is his first year at Emmitsburg as the head coach. He was at Clarinda and moved up, and now Mike Marino's at Clarinda and looking like he's going to win a state championship, Doug.
That's straight.
So here we go again. I had the wrong one. I think Shane called the timeout there, not Brandenburg. So here we go again. The score is 2-1 in favor of Brandenburg of Emmitsburg. That's the end of the first period. We go to a 2-minute second period. Brandenburg, you saw him say, I don't want it the choice. I'll wait till the third period. Shane picks down. Brandenburg wants the optional international start. He's willing to give up an escape because he feels confident on his feet. Score is now 2-2.
He's very physical. He likes to move his opponent. Look, he goes in on the outside single there, and he likes to use Kelly's and fireman's carries. There he is, dropping under.
Back in. Go down.
Back to the center. 1:40 to go. Brandenburg on the left, Shane on the right. Emmitsburg and Iowa Falls, two Northern Iowa schools. Familiar to wrestling fans for years.
See, there's his Kelly attempt, and he's a package, I'll tell you, as far as physical. Some people you say, well, they're kind of deceptive. They're strong, but it's deceptive in the way they look. There's nothing deceptive about Brandenburg's look there. He's very physical looking.
They only butted heads there when they both decided to take leg shots at the same time.
That's 3A. Will Kelly going for a 3A
situation. That's Kelly.
And he did.
Kelly pinned Buckland at 3A.
Ends an undefeated season for Will Kelly and adds another state championship onto last year's state championship, and he's still only a junior, so he'll be going for 3 next year, but it's number 2 tonight. Will Kelly from Dubuque Waller,
coached by Tom Horton at 130 pounds. Now we're looking, our main match here is Mark Brandenburg against Ben Shane.
Stalemate right here, let's go.
The score is 2-2.
Go down.
Brandenburg is strong, but Shane is undefeated. He's still there. He's a little taller, a little rangier, and obviously keeps good position. He's not allowed Brandenburg to use that Kelly on him. Brandenburg on the left.
Back here, guys, let's go.
30 seconds to go.
Quick in, let's go. Great, you're stalling out here. Let's go, buddy.
Now that is John Monroe's opinion. Shane is just keeping Brandenburg out and not trying to do anything himself. He's warned for stalling. That fired him up a little bit with a few seconds left here. He's going to do a front headlock position against Brandenburg. Between periods, we're going to show you the 2A team standings. We've got a good race in the 2As. There's a nice move by Shane, but it's a little late. Second period just ended.
Red's going down.
2-2. Brandenburg gets his choice this time. He picks down. It's a bloody nose that Shane has. There's Clarinda's lead at 2A, but there have been 4 teams in there very well.
Wilton hanging on the third right there with their champion, West Liberty, also having a champion, but 2 points shy of third place. Winner still with a couple of wrestlers.
Going down.
Now Brandenburg goes underneath. 2 minutes to go. So we're going to start the third period. The man on top, Shane, has had 1 warning. It's 2-2. He's trying to...
He's got him close now. He's going to score right there. He is scoring. He's scoring. He's got at least 2.
I think he got 2. Yes, he did. A near fall, and now
Shane. That's a big 2 points, Doug, because Brandenburg's hard to score on.
You know, sometimes these wrestlers are different, just completely different personalities on the mat as opposed to on the feet. Now, Shane looks really confident on top.
He's obviously got the tools. He likes to put in the legs.
A minute and 30 to go in the match.
That's Rick Caldwell, the coach for Iowa Falls, and Shane, coach there. He's been at Iowa Falls 3 years as the head coach.
And that's Shane with a leg in. He was maybe a little bit passive on the feet against Brandenburg, who's very confident with that attack, although it was only 2-2 at the end of the period. But Shane is looking tough as the dickens on top.
Well, this is right where Shane likes to be right now. I can tell you, with a 2-point lead, it's a tight match, and he's on top.
Easy, guys.
He loves being on top. Now, it's always on the whistle right here that's important, Doug.
Yes.
Brandenburg needs to come out hard. If he doesn't come out hard, Shane's already showed that he can flatten you out and ride you. There's Don Cox thinking the same thing that I'm talking about right there. He wants Brandenburg to come out hard, because the longer you stay down, the more trouble you get in with a man like Shane.
And Monroe is going to, John Monroe, the official, is going to watch Shane very carefully to make sure he doesn't just sit up there on top of that position.
And Chris Jones from Central Decatur has won the 1A over Tony Milkoff from Cedar Rapids, LaSalle, 8-2.
First loss this year for Milkoff.
Set.
He'd won 46 in a row.
Milkoff finished second 3 times. Been to the state 4 times, has a career record of 166 wins. Comes up short again, but a tremendous career for Tony Milkoff from LaSalle.
Forced half by Shane on top. He's in with the legs. He's leading by 2. There are only 25 seconds to go. Stalemate called, and Brandenburg has been thwarted underneath.
And that one more time that the referee said is the same for the chance for Brandenburg right here. He has one more chance to come out hard.
He got the leg in very nicely. Now Brandenburg's on the feet. Uh-oh.
No, but
no,
he just feels so comfortable there. I think Ben Shane's going to win with a ride, and he believes you got to be able to ride to win.
Well, that's a point against the man on top. Makes it 4-3. An escape here with how many seconds?
Lots of time. 5 seconds. Lots of time. We've already seen that.
All right, come on.
You only need 3.
But Shane got in with a leg, and that crossbody
rode him
ride
for the championship. He rode him out for the championship.
It was a big victory, and he got the points with a tilt on top.
Again, gentlemen.
Really strong mat work by Ben Shane. He is the state champion. He finished an undefeated year. His senior year at Iowa Falls. Ben Shane. Let's go to the awards now. 130 pounds or over, the awards for 125.
Presenting the Class 1A 125-pound awards, Coach Kent Eckness of Rock Valley. 6th place, Eric Van Meter, Guthrie Center. 5th place, Matt Jensen, Orient Maxburg. 4th place, Brett Hobson, Riceville. 3rd place, Don Even, Wapsie Valley Fairbank. Runner-up, Colby Yoder, Belmont Clemmy. And the 1A 125-pound champion from Rock Valley, Kirk Eckness.
He's in the middle of a big, well, he's had a big winning streak. 2-time state champion. What do we say, 73 in a row now?
That's right.
That's 1A. Here come the 2As. Our next round of wrestling will be at 135.
2A 125-pound awards, Coach Tom Ball of Jefferson Stratton. 6th place, Jason Hayden, Olwine. 5th place, Ryan Stevens, Centerville. 4th place, Joy Beaver, Knoxville. 3rd place, David Mera of the Port City Union. Runner-up, Ben Scorpel, West Liberty. And the 2A 125-pound champion from Jefferson Scranton, Will Thompson.
Big smile there, Will. 2A champion. 125 pounds. We're coming up to 3A now, 125.
Presenting the Class 3A 125-pound awards, Assistant Coach David Williams of Fort Madison. 6th place, Jamie Elliott, Dubuque Senior. 5th place, Mark Happel, Waverly Shell Rock. 4th place, Josh Dorothy, Mount Pleasant. 3rd place, Troy Yegi, Pleasant Valley. Runner-up, Matt Young, Indianola. And the 3A 125-pound champion from Fort Madison, Victor Martinez.
Hey, the winner at 3A 125. Let's go to Dean Board.
The champion at 130 pounds in single A is Chris Jones of Central Decatur, Leon. He had a reversal and 3 near fall points in the second period, and added 3 more near fall in the last period, and scored an 8-2 decision over Tony Milkoff of Cedar Rapids, LaSalle. Chris Jones of Central Decatur at Leon is the champion of 130 in single A. Dick Trotter.
All right, Dean, it's getting to be a habit. That is underclassmen winning state titles. And tonight, young Will Kelly of Dubuque-Wahlert wins his second in a row. He's just a junior. He's got a chance to win next year as he pinned Todd Backlund of Des Moines-Lincoln. There you see it. 30 seconds left to go in the second period. And we'll be looking for Will Kelly of Dubuque-Wahlert next year. He was 30-0 this season. Doug?
Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to 135 now on Iowa Public Television's live coverage from Veterans Auditorium of the 1994 Wrestling Championships of the state of Iowa. Tim Johnson and I'm Doug Brown, here to talk about the 2A match right there between Mike Koss, a senior from Wilton, and he's on the left in the blue uniform. Ben Euchre of Osage is in the green.
And this is Osage's first opportunity to try to make a run at the state title. If they can win all 3 of their finalists, and Clarinda not win, any Osage could win the championship.
Right.
You know, Koss, it's interesting. He placed last year 5th at 145 in single A, in 1A. He's down 2 weight classes from last year because he couldn't beat out the young wrestlers below him.
Isn't that something?
There's 1A.
There's 1A between Jeff Meyer of Sumner and Darren Youngblood of Jessup. First time we've seen those schools represented tonight. And at 3A, Brad Miller of Pleasant Valley has his hands full. He's up against undefeated Dave Kelgard of Lewis Central, Council Bluffs, who's gone 44 and zip this year. A wrestling family over there.
Euchre,
Koss and Euchre.
Euchre 32-1 this year. His only loss coming to Jay Dickey from Waterloo West in 3A.
Go up, man.
49 seconds to go here in the first period. Euchre, that's a familiar name too from Osage.
His brother Mike Euchre wrestling right now on the University of Iowa wrestling team.
Steve Shirk of Wilton, the coach of Mike Koss. Euchre in the green. That's him on the outside single for a takedown. Boy, he
has a real nice outside single, Doug. He set it up nice, finished it nice. That was
went around the corner in a hurry.
That's right. Last year, Ben Euchre was a runner-up.
And here comes Koss around.
Good hip action there by Euchre. Cross was coming around, and just Euchre threw his hips into him.
And he kept the position.
That's right.
Now you call attention to that very well there, TJ. You could just see you want to concentrate somewhere in those scramble situations. The hips are a good place to find out who has the control of his hips. Position he wants to be in.
Red down.
That's Bruce Goss.
Down.
That's assistant coach.
That's the assistant coach, okay. There's Bruce Goss.
There's Bruce. Been there for a long time. A state champion himself in 1969 for Osage, and now back at his school, his alma mater. Been there for 7 years as the head coach, but 17 years at Osage as in the coaching staff.
Are there any assistant coaches and head coaches in the States you don't know, Tim? 1 or 2, huh? We give you that test, you know. We line up 88 of them in front of us and say, name them all.
Oh, they're my heroes. They really are. The coaches of any sport in the high schools, I think, are the heroes of today. They're the great influencers, and sometimes the greatest influence in these kids' lives.
They are, I'll say that.
Look at that. Look at that duck under right there. It's kind of a cross between a double leg and a duck under by Ben Euchre, but it worked. It was beautiful.
4-1. 4-1 in favor of Euchre.
Now, I don't think we can talk enough about the influence of the coach and the importance in today's society and in our schools. And I like to lift them up anytime I can because they're on the firing lines out there, and kids in this changing society still, their ears still prick up when the coach says something. They hang on to their words and
yeah. You want him to say the right thing.
That's right. So, coaches, you're great influencers. I sometimes don't think you know how great an influence you are.
4-1 now in favor of the man on top, Ben Euchre of Osage. We're in the second period, and we have less than a minute to go here in the state championship match, 2A division, the middle-sized schools, in other words, at 135 pounds.
Well, in 3A, we've got a 9-2 score in favor of Kelgard from Council Bluffs, Lewis Central over Brad Miller from Pleasant Valley with 40 seconds left in the second period. And in 1A, we have a 4-2 lead for Darren Youngblood from Jessup over Jeff Meyer from Sumner with, that's the end of the second period. And there's Steve Shirk. Already has a champion with his son Ben Shirk earlier, and he's already got a Coach of the Year award. Now what he's looking for is a bronze trophy for the team.
The official here, Mark Bean of Iowa City, just talked to Ben Euchre and told him, I want you not to get too parallel here. I want you to keep working on top. I'll call you for stalling if you don't. He knows that Euchre leads by 3.
There's an attempt at a switch right there, but Euchre does a nice job of following behind the arms right there. See, just staying behind the arms. Good basic wrestling, and then you can suck him back when you do that.
Almost got him on his back for a real trouble. The end of the period. Now we go, there's Steve Shirk. He was the 2A Coach of the Year from Wilton.
Green down, green down.
Obviously, he's the one who keeps his head in the situation and
do you have a warning? Yes.
Leaves the shouting to his assistant, I guess.
Well, you know, there's an example, a hero. He's a hero as a father, a hero as a coach, and you know, it's real important that people understand the importance of the role of the coach, and they put a lot of time in, and it's a real exciting career, and it's real exciting for these kids out there to find out that hard work does pay off, Doug.
Koss in the blue on top is trailing by 3, and he has to come up with 3 points at least here in the next minute and a half, and keep Ben Euchre from scoring any himself.
Stay set. Okay, top.
Well, you know, all those cliches about never give up until last, because it isn't lost. We saw it earlier tonight.
We sure did. It doesn't get any better or any more evident than that.
Well, there was a reversal. Off the whistle, Ben Euchre made the explosive move, came around against Mike Koss, and has gone up 6-1. Now he's at work on top against Mike Koss of Wilton. Euchre finished second last year. Looks like he's doing a little better this year. From Osage, Iowa, a famous wrestling town up in the northern tier of counties.
He got his hips out clear right there and came around for a reversal. Wasn't really any more than explosion, clearing the hips and turning.
Right off the whistle, he made the first move, boom.
He's really been focused, Doug. You mentioned that he was second last year, and I was talking to his coach, and he said Ben has really been focused on the state title ever since he lost. And so often that happens. There's in the back, you're watching the 1As, Meyer and Youngblood. And that's Meyer turning the fortunes right now on Youngblood.
This is the 1A.
And that's Meyer on top of Youngblood right there, going for a fall, coming from behind.
6-5 is the score on the board in favor of Youngblood, in case you're interested. And he's the man in the blue.
And not anymore, though. That near fall gave 3 more points to Meyer, and then an escape.
And he wins.
8-7, but he wins. So that's a come-from-behind win for Meyer over Youngblood, giving Sumner a state champion.
Here we have 8 seconds to go, just a few seconds to go, and the young man in green, Ben Euchre, leads 6-2. He is the state champion from Osage. The winner over Mike Koss.
Boy, it's got to feel good after being a runner-up last year and saying after you walk off the mat, I want to win a state title, putting in a whole year and then getting your hand raised, state champion.
And they did it. We have a champion at AA. The 1A match is over. We have 20 seconds to go at 3A as we see Euchre do that famous lower weight leap. I don't think not many heavyweights do that.
There's 3A. It's 17-5 with Dave Kelgard from Council Bluffs Lewis Central leading Brad Miller from Pleasant Valley. 17-5 and winning by that score.
There it is. That's the end of it.
He's only a sophomore.
45-0 this year.
And only a sophomore. We're going to see a lot of him.
So all the wrestlers are done at 135 pounds. We have the awards down at the other end of Veterans Auditorium from the mats, and they're the awards at 130.
Presenting the Class 1A 130-pound awards, Coach Dan Christensen of Leon Central Decatur. 6th place, Ryan Lee, New London. 5th place, Ryan Hannig, Mason City Newman. 4th place, Eric Friedrichs, Riceville. 3rd place, Darrell Boat, Bode, Twin River Valley. Runner-up, Tony Milkoff, Cedar Rapids, LaSalle. And the 1A 130-pound champion from Leon Central Decatur, Chris Jones.
Chris Jones. Posing for the shots. There are photographers out in front. Flash bulbs flying. It's like he was a lot more comfortable when he was on the mat.
He did like that mat wrestling.
Yeah, pulling that out. Now we're coming up to the 2As at 130.
Presenting the Class 2A 130-pound awards, Coach Rick Caldwell of Iowa Falls. 6th place, Frank Keisley, Osage. 5th place, Sean Harlan, Clear Lake. 4th place, Nathan Winterhoff, Aurelia, Aldo Aurelia. 3rd place, Pete Ballbands, Washington. Runner-up, Mark Brandenburg, Emmitsburg. And the Class 2A 130-pound champion from Iowa Falls, Ben Shane.
Ben Shane. Ben Shane, the champion there. There's Dan Gable in the middle.
Yep.
Coach at Iowa, up in the right-hand corner at the top. There's
Royce Alger and Jim Zaleski, the brain trust from University of Iowa Hawkeyes.
We're just looking at Ben Shane, the AA winner at 130 pounds. And the one at the very end over a very disappointed Mark Brandenburg. I thought when Mark Brandenburg came by, just a minute, we'll go through 3A first.
Awards, Coach Tom Horton of Dubuque Waller. 6th place, Brian Fryermuth, Muscatine. 5th place, Mike Prunty, Waterloo, Columbus. 4th place, Dave Allen, West Des Moines, Dowling. 3rd place, Jess Hargrave, Spencer. Runner-up, Todd Buckland, Des Moines, Lincoln. And the 3A 130-pound champion from Dubuque Waller, Will Kelly.
Big win for Will Kelly at 130 pounds, 135. Let's go to Dean Borg for a floor report.
Well, Doug, at 135 pounds in single A, Jeff Meyer of Sumner proved it ain't over till it's over. He hadn't been doing well in this match with Darren Youngblood of Jessup. In fact, he was trailing with 30 seconds to go. He was trailing 6-2. At that point, he just seemed to have new energy and more with a body block than anything else. He ran at Youngblood, took him off his feet, and scored 4 near-fall points, and he won 8-7. The champion is Jeff Meyer of Sumner at 135 pounds. Dick?
Well, Dean, in that same weight in AAA, the sophomores have no respect for their elders tonight. And here you can see Dave Zelgard of Council Bluffs, Lewis Central, shaking hands after he just hammered Brad Miller of Pleasant Valley 17-5 on the strength of about 6 takedowns, thank you. He'll have a chance to win again next year. He's 44-0 this season, now make it 45. Doug?
Weight class coming up, 140 pounds. I'll tell you, if any of the wrestlers who are out here the rest of the night have any thoughts about thinking it's over until it's over, we've had 3 or 4 matches here that prove them they better pay attention.
Give me a whistle.
They've come in the last few minutes. This is AA at 140 pounds. Jamie Hyde of Humboldt, a senior who finished first last year at 130, is wrestling a senior from Carlisle, Ryan Robbins, for the title.
Hyde hasn't even had a close match so far, and 2 major decisions and a fall for Robbins. So neither of these wrestlers have been touched really coming into the finals, and now's the test.
Hyde is in the blue uniform. Robbins is in the red on the right from Carlisle. you're looking up at the 1A competitors, Corey Davis of Wapsie Valley and Ryan Schweitzberger of Kingsley.
In the middle now,
Kingsley's undefeated.
Let's go now, Brady. You got to circle it in. Go to the middle.
And he was the one who was putting Davis on the back, on his back. Now at 3A, Seth Scepter of Mason City wrestles Dusty Kufel of Cedar Rapids Prairie. This is the first time we've had a chance to see one of Ron Peterson's Coach of the Year's Prairie wrestlers in this meet. That's at 3A. We'll keep an eye on those mats as we go on here into the 2A match between Height and Robbins. No score. It was out of bounds.
Let's get the blood.
And a timeout here for Humboldt's Jamie Height. He has got clipped in the lip, I think, a little bit there.
We're looking at then Ryan Robbins going to the corner to his coach, Bob Ulick, to get a little coaching.
Bring him out now.
You can be coached if you're not the man who called the injury timeout. You can't be if you called the injury. Now here is the lockup in the center again. They've used about a minute. Height's in on the leg. Pretty good whizzer from Robbins, and he's out of that situation.
Circle it in.
Both of these wrestlers making their second appearance in the state tournament last year. Robbins qualified. All Height did on his first appearance in the state tournament was win a state championship as a junior.
And nobody's touched him since.
And now we've kind of reversed the injury, and we've got Robbins here with an injury timeout. And Coach Wasaba, Ron Wasaba from Humboldt, is now able to coach his wrestler, Jamie Height.
Hey, here we go.
That's Robbins. Robbins of Carlisle. That's two for Height.
Right on the edge of the mat there. How many times do we see that, and how many times do we see that being the deciding factor? Those close scores right there.
He's got blood on his back. Just wipe
Here's a takedown. He gets in on the double. Then he pulls it in, readjusts, and makes sure he's inbounds. Knees are inbounds right there. But you saw that once he was in on the double, he didn't quit. He sucked the knees in of Robbins right there, made sure he had the two, and just sat down with him for the takedown.
And he got it with about a half a minute to go in the period.
About a man. Green, caution. Green, caution.
Robbins moved too soon. He got a caution from his referee, Bill Rotes of New Hampton, who's been many, many years officiating high school wrestling in the state. Height has to bring Robbins down to the mat twice.
Turn it in now. Turn it in.
Keeps the position.
To the middle again.
Bob Yelich from Carlisle has to be real happy to have Robbins in the finals. They lost 11 seniors last year, so it was a rebuilding year, and yet here he has that person in the finals to give some of the young wrestlers that are coming up something to shoot for, something to say, I want to be there. And so that's really great, because when you lose 11 seniors, you might not expect to be back in the finals.
Height of Humboldt. Another one of those north central Iowa towns that have produced a share of fine wrestlers over the years.
Well, they were talking earlier about when Bernie Saigo came on as executive secretary, there were only about 50 or 60 schools that had wrestling. Well, the Osages, the Humboldts, they had them.
They had them.
There's another double. There's double leg in there. Nice hip action by Robbins. Avoids takedown.
Here comes Ryan Robbins around the back.
Jamie Height is a highly sought senior this year. Teams like Iowa State, Nebraska, Iowa, they are looking at Jamie Height because he's a competitor and he's a winner. And he's right there in that double leg. You know, it's the good basics that make a NCAA champion just the same as a state champion. It's not that they get any fancier. They just get better at the basics.
4-0 in favor of Height of Humboldt. He's dominated Ryan Robbins through the first period and now about a minute of the second period. 4-0 here. He was willing to take a chance and maybe be able to suck Robbins back into a near fall position, but Robbins got away. So it's now 4-1.
Don't be playing outside now. Let's go. Right in here.
You know, sometimes we think when we move up in a sport, you get fancier, you can do more things. There's the coach for Humboldt, Ron Rasaba, who's been in Humboldt 17 years, 9 years as assistant. Now the last 8 is head. There's a double leg again, head to the outside, another 2-point. Anyway, sometimes when you move up in sports, you think that, well, you just get a lot fancier. Well, in high school, they say, well, how'd you win the state championship? You might hear, well, I had a flying butcher, you know, or something like that, and pinned him with 30 seconds left. And in college, most of the time, how'd you win the national championship? Double leg, single leg.
Yeah, I kept good position.
Kept good position, pummeled well, you know, good basics. And so really drives home the point that as young wrestlers in junior high and high school, develop your basics, develop good position, and you're going to be successful at all levels.
Second period's about over, 6-1 in favor of Height. The man in blue, he's dominating Ryan Robbins of Carlisle here through the first 2 periods.
We're going to go neutral.
Robbins gets his choice, and he does not want to be underneath. He doesn't want to be on top. He'd rather start up.
In 3A with 50 seconds left in the match, it's a 4-4 match between Seth Scepter from Mason City and Dusty Kufel from Cedar Rapids Prairie. 4-4 with 45 seconds left.
And Corey Davis is leading Schweizberger of Kingsley 4-2 at 1A in the second period, about halfway through the period.
And Dusty Kufel did just get a takedown with 35 seconds left to go up 6-4.
Again, Height is in right to the shoulder.
Man, he gets in there tight. There's
8-1.
You know, it's no return for Robbins. There's just no chance because you have no power.
Green.
The escape makes it 8-2.
Here we go.
With a minute and a half to go.
Ready.
Here's a takedown. Comes all the way off the ground right there and just puts him right down. Hips down on the mat, 2 points.
But this time, Robbins made the move. His first takedown of the match, and it's 8-4.
There's the no-quit attitude right in there. You know, you'd have a tendency to go, oh, pal, I can't beat this guy. Yet Robbins comes right back, scores the takedown. He's right back in this match. Minute 20 left.
4 points in a minute and a half is a long ways to go. What we've seen tonight.
The Cedar Rapids Prairie, Dusty Kufel held off a late charge by Seth Scepter from Mason City, winning 6-5 for a championship for Prairie's Dusty Kufel.
And it's 4-4-4 in the 1A match, and there's the reversal for Height. He got the 2 points back that he lost in the takedown, and it's 10-4 in favor of Height. He's gone up to double figures. Undefeated Jamie Height of Humboldt.
We'll cover him.
It happened again.
The 1A match was settled. Well, no, it's only the second period.
Right.
I was going to say it was
just a couple of seconds left, and they got near fall points, and now it's 6-4 lead for Ryan Schweizberger from Kingsley, ahead of Corey Davis from Wapsie Valley, Fairbank, going into the third period.
You can see them on the far mat over there. That's the only one that's going besides Height and Robbins, and Height leads here 10-4 with 25 seconds to go.
Your hands caught in there. Your hands caught in the uniform, okay? We're going to break it.
Height of Humboldt over Ryan Robbins of Carlisle.
Set. Cover him.
Robbins is quite a baseball player. He's going to try out for the Crows, he says. He loves wrestling, but he loves baseball also. And
turn it in.
He's had a good year, but it looks like Height's going to get his second state championship. Height's going to go on and do some wrestling in college.
10-5 now after that escape.
Green, we're neutral.
Referee Bill Rhodes agrees that Robbins is out. Just a few seconds here. Height in on the leg. He got another takedown at the very end and wins his second straight championship.
Pretty convincing. Pretty convincing. Excited coach right there.
Hold you up, shake hands.
That's the winner, Jamie Height from Humboldt.
Good match. Here we go, son. Give me your arm.
Over Ryan Robbins.
There you go.
Exciting. Well, we still have about a minute to go in the 1A match, and it's 6-4 in favor of Schweizberg of Kingsley over Corey Davis of Wapsie Valley.
Schweizberg is wrestling. I mean, is riding right now.
Right. They're both wearing black. So again, the green ankle band around there is Schweizberg. The red is Corey Davis. 45 seconds to go.
And Corey Davis is coached by his son, Chris Davis, by Wapsie Valley. So here's another father-son, but right now, not looking good for the son.
Oh, Schweizberger has him in a near fall position with 30 seconds to go. It is a 3-point situation, and it could be worse here. He's locking it up pretty tight. So it's at least a 5-point lead now with 15 seconds to go, and Schweizberg in control.
Schweizberger going to win it.
Corey Davis is fighting to stay off his back here at the end of the 140. This is the only one left at 140. Schweizberg, a near fall, wins it 9-4.
Improves on his third-place finish from last year and wins a state championship.
So we're going to go to the awards now. After this, this is going to be the award ceremony for the 135-pound champions of Iowa High School Wrestling. Coming to you on Iowa Public Television. Here we go.
Presenting the Class 1A 135-pound awards, Coach Darren Ripley of Sumner. 6th place, Brian Kaufman, Guthrie Center. 5th place, Wade Roberts, Lake Mills. 4th place, Derek Morris, Lenox. 3rd place, Randy Pugh, Columbus Junction. Runner-up, Darren Youngblood, Jessup. And the 1A 135-pound champion from Sumner, Jeff Meyer.
Little smile there, Jeff. Nobody can take it away from you now. These are the 135-pound place winners. Now up come the middle-sized schools, 2A.
135-pound awards, Coach Bruce Gast of Osage. 6th place, John Miller, walk-on. 5th place, Matt Phillips, Centerville. 4th place, Andy DeLaca, Sadell, Des Moines. 3rd place, Ryan Isaacson, Clarinda. Runner-up, Mike Koss, Wilton. And the 2A 135-pound champion from Osage, Ben Euchre.
The Osage green on the top step of that platform, Ben Euchre. Attaboy, Ben. You go on the list of state champions. That one, the list at Osage is pretty long.
If they can get a couple more, they'll be right in the thick of this state championship.
That's right, team match. The next wrestling will be at 145 pounds. It'll be the last in our rounds with the 2As first.
135-pound awards, co-coaches Dick Bleth and Keith Massey of Lewis Central Council Bluffs. 6th place, Curtis Anderson, Fort Dodge. 5th place, Jason Meyer, Cedar Rapids, Jefferson. 4th place, Jay Dickey, Waterloo West. 3rd place, Steve Blackford, West Des Moines Dowling. Runner-up, Brad Miller, Pleasant Valley. And the 3A 135-pound champion from Lewis Central Council Bluffs, David Kjelgaard.
David Kjelgaard. There's a real family tradition there. Those brothers have been awfully tough. Ones that now at UNI. And this young man is only a sophomore. Number 1. Let's go to Dick Trotter for a floor report.
In the 140-pound class 3A division, a couple of wily seniors had at it tonight. Seth Scepter of Mason City had hoped to cart home the trophy. However, it wasn't to be, as there you see Dusty Kupal of Cedar Rapids Prairie rush into the arms of Coach of the Year, Ron Peterson of Prairie, and Kupal wins it 6-5, going away in the 3rd period. Doug?
Thank you, Dick. Dick Trotter with a floor report. He and Dean Borg are doing a fine job catching up on the matches that we don't get to see very much of at all as we travel through the 13 weight classes in Veterans Auditorium. We're still at the AA division, and then we get to 155, 152, the next weight class. We'll be moving up to the AAAs for 4 weights. Here's Travis Holm of Osage, the green again, against Ryan Jensen of Winterset, and Ryan Jensen got at him right on the whistle. He didn't waste time. No moss growing on him. He hit home immediately. in this battle of two seniors. Jensen was the champion last year at 140 pounds.
Like I said, for Osage, they have to have this win here to keep them in the hunt for the state championship, but not if Jensen has anything to do with it from Winterset.
Good heavens, he lost 3 matches. Who did he lose to? 1A match is between Chad Duttler of Holstein and Aaron Slaymaker of Belle Plaine. Belle Plaine has been doing well also. And at 3A, it's Brent LaGrange of Cedar Rapids Prairie, another Prairie wrestler. They've had 2 in a row here against Andy Kruger of Sioux City Heelan.
Sit here, come on in.
And that's at 3A.
Well, one of his losses, Ryan Jensen's losses, was to Graves from Osceola, and he turned around and beat him twice since then. He also went up a weight and lost a match against Wes Marshall.
Great match,
so he's come back, got revenge, and now he's at the weight he loves, and he looks like he's unbeatable. His only sport is wrestling. Ryan Jensen's only sport is wrestling. He works real hard.
Here comes Holmes. Reversal. Evens it up at 2-2.
Might have heard me say something about him being unbeatable, and he said, we'll see about that.
Set here, 38 left, man, come on in.
Okay, 2-2. We have about, well, let's see, the clock says 36. 35 seconds left in the first period. Whoa. Holmes lost control of himself there. He got a bad position, and Jensen reversed him, so we've traded reversals.
20 guys,
Jensen trying to work that near wrist and get into an arm bar situation and work some.
Even 90.
Look at those arm bars. Likes to pin. He has 21 pins going into tonight's finals.
This is the 2A class, and between periods, we're going to show you what the team standings look like right now. Both these schools are in the top 5.
Up, down, neutral, defer. Green,
there they are.
defer.
Osage is
Red,
second.
up, down.
Winterset in 5th.
Winterset has a couple of wrestlers coming up, and if they win a couple of matches, they're right up there for 3rd place.
Clarinda still on top in AA. And this is all important. Holm has to win for Osage, or I think that just about does it.
Well, both of these wrestlers have a lot on the line for their teams. Jensen has to win for Winterset to have any possibility of getting a trophy.
Right here, you're just riding. Let's go. You got to use her to get out.
And as far as Osage is concerned, as far as their state championships hopes, you're right. Holmes has to win here.
Richard Gray, the official referee from St. Charles, just put his fist up against Ryan Jensen. The Winterset, he said he was stalling. That was a warning. Jensen in the black leads 4-2. 4-3 now after the escape by Travis Holm of Osage. 4-3. A minute and a half to go in the second period. At 145 pounds, Veterans Auditorium, live coverage on Iowa Public Television, our annual coverage in the 23rd year of the Wrestling Championships of the state of Iowa.
Tell me, guys, go again.
Last year, Travis Holm was 4th place at 145, and he's been working hard ever since to try to get to where he's at right now. He has a never quit attitude himself.
Right here, Red. Let's go.
Now that's a warning against Holm, so now they're even up. Richard Gray thought Holm was backing out. Didn't back out fast enough that time. Ryan Jensen got the single and the takedown.
Good single leg right there. He likes to be on his feet. You can tell that.
6-3. Back to the center with 47 seconds to go.
In on that single leg, head on the inside, and he just drives through, using his head as leverage right there against the hip. Drives right through, puts Holmes on his hip. In 3A, with a minute left in the second period, Andy Kruger from Sioux City Heelan is leading 2-1 over Brent LaGrange, Cedar Rapids Prairie. And in 1A, with 40 seconds left in the second period, the score is 3-1 in favor of Chad Duttler from Holstein over Aaron Slaymaker from Belle Plaine.
And here we are again at our main match at 145 at the AA level. Travis Holm and Ryan Jensen, middle-sized schools.
Well, for liking to be on his feet, he's Ryan Jensen, I think, likes even more to be on top there. He's a legger, and he just rides the tar out of you.
We'd like to have your comments, you know, as we go along in our sports programming this winter. on our college wrestling meets or tonight's high school championships, we're going to give you an address between periods that you can write. We'd love to get your comments, whether they're negative, positive, whatever. They try to help us do the job better for you. So get a pencil if you'd like to make some comments. There we are.
Guys. There we go.
Bruce Gass.
Periods.
Come on in.
Coach Bruce Gass from Osage still cheering on Slim hopes for state championship, and they all depend on Holmes right here to be able to keep that winning streak, get that third wrestler out there to try to win 3 state championships and get themselves a team championship.
We'll still get you that address, by the way, a little bit later on, so be thinking about it. Here it's 6-3 in favor of Jensen. Now, Holm is going to have to go somewhere with that up there because he needs points. And Jensen is not working hard enough.
1 point. Now it's 6-4. He pulls Holmes down on his hips. Dangerous position right there. Holmes is not in good control because because Jensen has a hold of, has a hold of his thigh right there.
Go again, guys. Stalemate, same way.
Holmes was able to keep the position though, and so it's 6-4 in favor of Jensen. Holmes still leading with 55 seconds to go. Looks
Holmes
like
is not leading. Holmes is...
Or rather, Jensen leading with Holmes in the top position.
Holmes is going to have to make a decision here whether he's going to stay here and try to turn him or let him go and create some kind of opportunity for more points from the feet.
And he's in danger of getting up high again. 30 seconds to go.
Let's go again, guys.
Stalemate. Well, actually, if it's going to go like this, Holmes is doing Jensen a favor.
There's Coach Gary Christensen, coach of the Winterset wrestler right here. Winterset wrestler Jensen trying to reach back and pull Holmes over, but
actually Holmes was just able to keep the top position, and he has 15 seconds here. He's going to have to get something. Here he comes. He's going to try to crank that arm around, but I don't think
he's going to call stall.
Let's go again.
Nope, it's a stalemate. Not much. All you got to do is cradle right here. They only.
Come on in.
Well, 6 seconds. That's enough time for.
Somebody lets him go.
Near fall.
Now he's got to throw him for 4.
And it's over. 1 point, by the way, I believe, was given there. 7-4 in favor of Jensen.
Right around here.
The state champion from Winterset.
Winterset's still alive for a 3rd place trophy. Osage just saw their chances for a state championship go out the window.
And I think Clarinda's dancing in the streets right now. Let's go to 1A where we have a near fall situation. We have a pin situation between Duttler and Slaymaker.
And Duttler has turned a 4-4 meet into a big victory for him. And the Holstein coach, Mike Richard, is excited.
Yes, Duttler had Slaymaker on his back at the end of the period for a 3-point near fall. He was already 6-4 up, and it's 9-4.
Made a 5-point move.
Right at the end. That's another big, it's never too late move. Chad Duttler, coached by Mike Richard. So we're through at 145. We'll tell you later about the AAA match, too. We'll have a floor report on that as we go along. 145-pounders, let's have the awards at 140.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the award stand at the east end of the auditorium. Presenting the Class 1A 140-pound awards, Dr. Tom Stock of Kingsley Pearson. 6th place, Dave Brown, West Hancock. 5th place, Chris Eddy, Coon Rapids Fair. 4th place, Fritz Beyer, Griswold. 3rd place, Keith Anderlich, Riceville. Runner-up, Corey Davis, Wapsie Valley Fairbank. And the Class 1A 140-pound champion from Kingsley Pearson, Ryan Schweitzberger.
That's the way, Ryan. He had his man on his back at the end of that winning effort for the state championship at 145, just 140, just a few minutes ago. That's 1A. Let's go to 2A now. 6th place winners.
Presenting the Class 2A 140-pound awards, Coach Ron Wasoba of Humboldt. 6th place, Jason Franzenberg, Van Horn Benton Community. 5th place, Mark Dunbar, Osceola Clark. 4th place, Ben Thompson, Mediapolis. 3rd place, Matt Dyer, Glenwood. Runner-up, Ryan Robbins, Carlisle. And the Class 2A 140-pound champion from Humboldt, Jamie Height.
2-time champion, Jamie Height. Double A at 140. You know, we have, I look around at the Veterans Auditorium and you see up on the stand across the way all the radio stations from the small towns all over the state. Never, you didn't see that for many years.
140-pound awards, Coach Ron Peterson of Cedar Rapids Prairie. 6th place, Ryan Bennett, Fort Dodge. 5th place, Todd Johnston, Fort Madison. 4th place, Nick Stewart, Charles City. 3rd place, Dan Bainbridge, Dubuque Senior. Runner-up, Seth Scepter, Mason City. And the Class 3A 140-pound champion from Cedar Rapids Prairie, Dusty Copel.
Nice going there, young man. Dusty Copel. Let's go to Dean Board.
Well, Doug, on the 1A mat at 145 pounds, this is the takedown as time was running out and the score was tied that made Chad Duttler of Galva Holstein the champion at 145 pounds in single A. He defeated Aaron Slaymaker, who had come back late in the period to tie it 4-4, but the final decision was 9-4, Chad Duttler, Galva Holstein. Dick Trotter.
Well, Doug, in 3A competition, Andy Kruger of Sioux City Heelan pulled kind of an upset tonight as he knocked off Brett LaGrange of Cedar Rapids Prairie by the margin of 7-3. That was 3 takedowns, all he needed. You see, LaGrange was 3rd a year ago and had visions of title time this year. Back to you, Doug.
We're just about to go up into a new set of rotations here. We are moving now to the triple A's from 152 through 189 pounds. And at AAA, in the Iowa High School athletic rotation system that is 3 years in the working, drawn way ahead of time before anybody knows who's going to be wrestling. This is the way we came up, and we're now for the top 4 weights up through heavyweight, up to heavyweight, we're at 3A. And AAA at 152 gives us Travis Pike of Cedar Rapids Jefferson against Casey Aldridge of Indianola.
And they're 1-1 against each other. Aldridge pinned Pike in December. Pike came back and beat Aldridge 5-2 in January, so this is the rubber match tonight.
Aldridge is in the light blue on the left of Indianola. Travis Pike of Cedar Rapids Jeff is in the dark blue. He's now on the left.
Pike has made the trip to the state 3 times. He
4th last year, wasn't he? Something like that? Finished in the top 3 or 4.
Yes, he was 4th last year, and then Casey Aldridge visited the Veterans Auditorium last year, lost twice, and here he is in the finals.
We're going to show you Riceville now at 152 pounds. They had only 1 finalist, although they were leading, and they still lead in the 1A. They did so well in the consolations. Riceville's Todd Foster is wrestling Justin Decker of Maynard West Central. They're both defeatless this year. Nobody's touched either one.
And if Riceville wins that match, they clinch the title.
And then at AA, Ryan Kinsella of Creston wrestles undefeated Brad Horton of Norwalk, who after finishing 2nd last year at 145 is going for a title 1 weight up this year. Front headlock position from Indianola's Casey Aldridge. No score here in the first period. We've gone all but 30 seconds. Tight front headlock. What can he do with it? Nothing. Referee calls him off. That official is Robert Bream. Bob Bream of Oxford.
Come on, man. Need more aggressive wrestling.
There's Wes Creason, the coach of the state champion Indianola High School.
Well, he can actually say it now. And that first one was such one you won't forget. We'll have the 3A team standings between periods here. Casey Aldridge again in the tough front headlock position.
Both these wrestlers, basic wrestlers. You're not going to see anything fancy.
Red choice. Let's look at those 3A standings. Indianola up by 9 points. Fort Dodge and Prairie are tied again.
Go, Red.
At 76, Lewis Central doing well after Kelgard State Championship just a couple of weeks ago. And they have another man coming up. Lewis Central has Adam Bendorf at 160.
There's an escape by the Indianola wrestler Casey Aldridge. Kind of came out from nowhere. Like I said, there's 3 seniors in the finals that wrestled together since 2nd grade for Indianola. And here's the lone junior, the leader for next year, Casey Aldridge.
Again, a tough front headlock position. He hasn't been able to do anything offensively with it. Although that time he looked like he wanted to pancake somebody. So we're 1-0 here. The escape point is the only one up for Casey Aldridge on the left from Indianola. If you haven't lost that pencil we were asking you to find a while ago, we'll ask you to pick it up again and we'll give you the address to write with comments between periods here. Pike in on the leg. Is he going to make it? No, he couldn't reach it.
Got past the hands, but he just couldn't get past those hips right there. That was good hip action by Aldridge. That really put a lot of pressure in on Pike. He was in. He had an opportunity, but Dick Briggs, the coach there, Cedar Rapids Jefferson, looks a little concerned right there. He says, man, he was in tight. Those are tough hips by Aldridge. There he is in on. Now he's got it locked. Now if he can keep pulling it in and keep good position, keep his hips underneath him and lift. See, that's what he's doing. He's got his hips underneath. Now if he can lift up and adjust, that's what he's trying to do. Come down now, drive through, pop his head, keep moving. See, right there, he's doing everything right. If he can drive around now. Now Aldridge has pretty tight hold right there in the crotch.
16 seconds left here, by the way, TJ. Stalemate. Official Robert Green says there's no chance to make that work any better. So here we go, 10 seconds to go. In the second period, 1-0, Aldridge with his back to you. And Pike will get a chance in the third period to start underneath. Starting right now. There's the address for comments on any of our sports presentations in the winter. Iowa Public Television Sports, Iowa Public Television, Post Office Box 6450, Johnston, Iowa. And that zip is 50131. Again, that box number 6450, Johnston, Iowa 50131. Let's go back to live coverage now of the 152-pound AAA championship. Travis Pike of Cedar Rapids Jefferson starts underneath, trailing 1-0. If he escapes, he can even it up. But Aldridge has got the first, made the first move off the whistle and has controlled him.
Like I said, both of these wrestlers, very basic wrestlers, always doing a nice job on top, keeping a lot of weight on top of Pike. See, every time Pike comes up, gets his hips underneath him. Well, right there, that's why he got out, is because he did get his hips underneath him.
And again, Aldridge goes to that front headlock position, but he has not been able to come up with anything to offensive off it yet. It's 1-1, and now we go to the last minute and a half, tied. We've had a lot of them going to the end here in this meet.
Well, the last 2 shots by Pike have been close, and they each got progressively closer.
Now it's Pike in the front headlock. Trying to come around, but Aldridge a little bit too strong for it.
Both wrestlers hard to score against, both just looking for the tiniest of openings. All they want is a window right there that they can drop in and execute. They're doing a good job defensively. Somebody is looking for that window.
Pike of Jefferson on the right, Aldridge of Indianola on the left. Aldridge is a junior. Pike couldn't quite reach that, and again Aldridge has the front headlock with what, 30 seconds to go.
On the 1A match,
stalemate.
There was a 0. It was a 0-0 match on 1A with a minute and a half left, and then a 3-point near fall for
Justin Decker. I believe it was. No, yes, Justin Decker.
From Maynard West Central, Allison Bristow. It makes it 3-0. Justin Decker
was a
over Todd
warning.
Foster from Riceville.
A warning, by the way, Tim, when we were looking down the mat, against Casey Aldridge. And here comes Pike, the high crotch move. He doesn't have it.
Again. He just keeps trying.
I think we're liable to have an overtime here, although 8 seconds is 100 years tonight. We're going to go to overtime. So it's an extra period. They're going to go 2 minutes. First score wins. At 1A, by the way, we're getting a pin situation with Foster and Decker.
And that's Decker from Maynard West Central with Coach Larry Munger pretty excited about what's happening on the mat for his wrestler.
Yeah, that's the pin we're
That's what we're talking about. Right up there in the corner.
Now here's the overtime in the main mat between Travis Pike and Casey Aldridge. Whoever scores wins. Here comes Pike with a Kelly. He's going to put Aldridge on his back. He's allowed to try to pin him, but he didn't have to. He won by a
big win for Cedar Rapids Jeff. Coach Dick Briggs, big win for Pike. That was a rubber match.
Wasn't able to interpret that.
No.
But it was a happy young man who made the signal. That's Travis Pike of Cedar Rapids Jefferson, who wins as a senior over Casey Aldridge of Indianola in overtime. That was the first takedown.
Look at that, from the front headlock, kind of a duck, then to the opposite leg right there, cross through, and whoa, what a way to win. Big takedown. And of course the winner.
This is the very last second or two at A. The winner 6-0 there is Todd Foster.
And over in Double-A, Brad Horton won a match against for Norwalk against Ryan Kinsella from Preston.
Todd Foster of Riceville was the winner in that 1A match, and that's the big one. Oh, I'm taking that back. It was Decker of Maynard West Central. I don't want you to...
That's Larry Munger, the coach there. Big end of the match for him. He put him on his back late in the match to break a 0-0 tie.
Okay. Sixth place, Casey Christensen, Riceville. Fifth place, Ted Smith, West Hancock. Fourth place, Will Steinkamp, Winthrop East Buchanan. Third place, Justin Staver, Afton East Union. Runner-up, Aaron Slaymaker, Belle Plaine. And the 145-pound 1A champion from Galva Holstein, Chad Duttler.
Got scratched up a little bit through the tournament, but he'll survive. He's very happy about that. 145-pound champion of the state of Iowa 1A level.
Because they carry it too. But he didn't give me the 2 back.
Now we'll go to Double-A.
Presenting the Class 2A 145-pound awards, Coach Gary Christensen of Winterset. Sixth place, Landon Freeberg, Algona. Fifth place, Brian Klosterman, Vinton, Washington. Fourth place, Corey Myers, Sadell, Des Moines. Third place, Doran Massner, Mediapolis. Runner-up, Travis Holm, Osage. And the 2A 145-pound champion from Winterset, Ryan Jensen.
A big win for Jensen. Wrestling champion wearing a basketball sweatshirt, I noticed there too. He can afford to be magnanimous because he just won a state title at 145 pounds. There are some of the fans here. Dan Gable on the left in that middle row signing autographs. You see his wife Kathy over here on the right.
45-pound awards, Coach Rich Cooney of Sioux City, Heelan. Sixth place, Bob Couples, Newton. Fifth place, Justin Crawford, Oskaloosa. Fourth place, Ryan Carnahan, Southeast Polk Runnels. Third place, George Howard, Waterloo West. Runner-up, Brant LaGrange, Cedar Rapids Prairie. And the 3A 145-pound champion from Sioux City, Heelan, Andy Kruger.
Congratulations, Andy Kruger, champion. Now we're going to get floor reports at 152 pounds. Let's go to Dean Borg.
3 turned out to be a big number tonight for Justin Decker in, well, several ways. It's his 3rd time at the state tournament. He had defeated 2 unbeatens to get to the tournament championship tonight. And in the final period, when we went into that period 0-0 in his match with Todd Foster of Riceville, he scored 2 3-point near falls and won a decision 6-0 over Todd Foster of Riceville. The champion, 1A, 152 pounds, Justin Decker of Maynard West Central. Dick Trotter.
All right, Dean, in AAA competition, 11-6 was the score. 5 takedowns executed by Brad Horton of Norwalk as he destroyed Ryan Kinsella, 11-6. Kinsella's scores came on 1-pointers, but Horton could score the 2-pointer on the TD. The new champion, Brad Horton of Norwalk. Doug?
Thank you, gentlemen. Let's go to 160 pounds now. We're with the AAAs through these upper weights. And at 160, Adam Bendorf of Council Bluffs, Lewis Central. They have a chance to come right up in the standings here with this. Adam Bendorf, undefeated, goes against Travis Evans of City High of Iowa City. Now, these are both juniors. They're both juniors.
You're right about Lewis Central. A win here would catapult them into 2nd place. Doug?
So it means something. That's Lewis Central in the blue on the left. The Iowa City High School is Travis Evans is in the black on the right.
You bet it means something. You're in 5th place. You have no trophy. You win. Possibility that you can get up there. And
but that's not the way to do it. Travis Evans is going to try to do something about it. He just jumped around behind Adam Bendorf, and no respect for the undefeated. And he's up 2-0, now 2-1 after the escape. At 1A, we'll be watching John Whitmer of Eagle Grove wrestle Jeff Ray of Sumner. And when we go to AA, Tim Duff of Wintersat, a senior, against David Wimberly of Clarinda. 2 more of the top teams. Clarinda is the top team, the champion at AA.
Come on, Red. Circle in.
Mike Moreno, the coach there. We haven't seen Mike. I don't think we've had a good shot of him yet. Maybe we'll get one a little later on. First-year coach at Clarinda, wins the title.
That's right.
Score here is 2-1 in favor of the man on the left in the black. City High's Travis Evans.
Move it in. Move it in.
Bendorf from the other side of the state. Council Bluffs, Lewis Central,
out here,
has gone through this year without a loss.
Oh, he's a real hammer. He's tough. He's hard-nosed, and he just shoots right on the whistle. See, he gets after you. State runner-up last year.
Here he comes in the double leg. Can he get in deep enough? He can, but I think it's going to carry him right out of bounds onto the next mat.
He gives some effort there. There's Brad Smith, longtime high school coach here in the ranks, former national champion for the Hawkeyes at Lisbon for years, and now in about his 4th season at Iowa City High, 3rd year at Iowa City High, and he's already won a state champion. There's co-coaches, Dick Bleth and Keith Massey. There's Keith Massey nearest to us, and Dick Bleth, co-coaches of Lewis Central.
Couldn't settle the tryout, huh?
I think it's Dick Bleth has been the coach there for 27 years, but he is so thankful to have someone like Keith Massey in the room. He really considers him just as much as a head coach as himself. So he has called themselves co-coaches for 2 years now. 27 years, though, Dick Bleth has been the head coach. Or
2-1.
Here's 1A, possible pin.
Circle in.
Yeah, that's Whitmer of Eagle Grove in the top position over Jeff Ray of Sumner. And leading 5-0. He made a 5-point move.
What's the blocking up?
To take the lead over there. Good news for Eagle Grove people.
Right here. Get in there. Circle in.
We'll see it. I'll tell you what, right off the whistle right here, Bendorf tries to go forward.
Travis Evans with the front headlock. He's kept very, you talk about position.
Great
Brad
position.
Smith has been teaching him obviously well, or somebody along with Brad Smith, because he's been settling out there very nicely. Bendorf is coming straight at him, And I don't think you can do that with Evans.
Two strong-looking young men here.
2-1 in favor at the end of the first period. 2-1 in favor of Evans. That's Bendorf, undefeated in 40 goes this year.
At the end of the first period, on the 1A mat, it is the 5-0 score that reported John Whitmer over Jeff Ray. Whitmer from Eagle Grove, Ray from Sumner. Sumner coached by Darren Ripley, the son of the Coach of the Year and Hall of Fame inductee, Coach Ripley.
Evans looked to be in a good position, but Bendorf traded off, and now he has...
It's tight.
It's tight for Evans. He has Evans on his back right out of the blue.
There's no getting out.
It's a tough position. Uh-oh, and it's over. Boy, did that come fast. Woo. Just as we were saying, what good position he kept. He countered very well against trying to get out on the stand-up. But the second move that Bendorf made ended up putting Evans on his back.
So, two juniors here that may meet again. They're both just juniors.
And that pin gives a little extra point, you know, for Lewis Central.
For Lewis Central, what that does is take them into second place, all alone.
What a big win for Adam Bendorf. Yeah. Let's see this if we can find out what happened. If we get into it early enough.
In on the single leg, trying to get a whizzer there, but he drives over, reaches over, grabs the head, cradles him up. And like I said, the only excuse to get it pinned is if you get in the cradle. There's no way to bridge, no way to get off your back. Tight cradle wins a state championship for Adam Bendorf.
The only question there is whether the referee can get him to a position to see it, you know? Sometimes you get him quicker than the referee can see. Well, that's Adam Bendorf's big win for Lewis Central. Let's go to 2A now. This is 1A. This is the 1A match between John Whitmer and Jeff Ray. What we're looking at is the 1A match between John Whitmer and Jeff Ray. In the blue, in the purple there, it's John Whitmer of Eagle Grove, and he leads 5-1.
Here's 2A.
Here's 2A now. We're going to look at Tim Duff and David Wimberly. Winner set against Clarinda. Clarinda, in the purple, David Wimberly, coached by Mike Moreno, has the team title locked up. They'd like to get some individual titles out of this. Duff in on the body lock, trying to make things tough here on Wimberly. Got into a kind of a scary lockup there, but nothing came of it. 4-1 is the score in favor of Duff of Winterset over Wimberly. We're in the last period, 1:15 to go. That's Duff.
Well, Duff really, he controlled the head there. He stuffed Wimberly's head and just jumped around.
Coached by Gary Christensen, 6-1 in favor of Duff. Oh, not a good move there by Wimberly, but he managed to bail out in time to keep from going on his back. We're under a minute now to go.
Well, Ricefield's won the state title. No, they haven't won the state title. Clarinda could win a state title without winning a state championship, right? Individual state championship.
True.
Ricefield could too, but Lisbon still has something to say about it, right?
Yeah. Well, Clarinda, of course, in double A has it won.
They have it won.
Osage had to win all of them, and they didn't do it. Here comes Wimberly.
Well, that's 2 points reversal. He's able to stick his leg in there. Look at that length, how he's able to use that for an advantage and get 2 points. Now it's 6-3, but there's not much time left.
That's why he's up so high, and that what is a dangerous position, because he knows he has to pin his man and or put him on his back here in the last few seconds or lose. And it's going to end there. Tim Duff of Winterset wins it.
Second Winterset state champion. They had Jensen and now Duff.
6-3 in favor of Duff over Wimberly.
Happy Gary Christensen, longtime coach for Winterset.
It just goes to show you what depth will do. Clarinda, as you say, did win a state championship without a champion.
That's right.
Because they had so many people do so well through the consolation rounds. Happy number 1. That's Tim Duff of Winterset.
With a minute left in the third period.
This is 1A now. John Whitmer and Jeff Ray.
With a minute left, it's 7-2. Whitmer ahead of Ray.
John Whitmer, coached by Dave Morgan at Eagle. And Eagle Grove is now 1A. I noticed that they have been 2A, I think, most of the years. That there have been 1, 2, and 3. Somebody left town, I guess. That must have been happening, huh?
Either that or more people went into other towns.
That's what happened.
You know, you can stay the same and go down a class, I guess.
I guess.
3.5 points, Johnson. 3.5.
33 seconds to go, counting down 30. 7-3 in favor of the man in purple. Blue, with whatever comes out on your, I hope, well-regulated TV set. Ray tried to headlock it, but no go.
Ray trying his best and trying to make something happen, but Whitmer too solid, knows right where he is, keeps good position, and says, I'm ahead by 4 points, I'm not going to do anything dumb.
Almost over. 7-3. It's a championship for John Whitmer of Eagle Grove.
Had a few other Whitmers in Eagle Grove.
Yeah, Jesse Whitmer, out Iowa. Much smaller. But John Whitmer is the winner for Eagle Grove. Another of the great Northern Iowa names in wrestling. Over Jeff Ray of Sumner. Well, that's it for 160. Let's go to the awards at 152.
The auditorium. Presenting the Class 1A 152-pound awards, Coach Larry Munger of Maynard West Central. 6th place, Denny Sanford, Lawton Bronson. 5th place, Kurt Pote, Guthrie Center. 4th place, Jesse Nason, State Center, West Marshall. 3rd place, B.J. Miller, Buffalo Center, North Iowa. Runner-up, Todd Foster, Riceville. And the Class 1A 152-pound champion from Maynard West Central, Justin Decker.
Justin Decker, champion there in the 1A division. You know, I was looking at it and realizing that if Riceville were to hold off Lisbon, and Lisbon has 2 men coming up in the next weights, they would also win a championship without a champion.
That's what I was...
and Clarinda was the other one. I heard you say Clarinda.
And that Riceville now will not have an individual state champion, but they could win it also.
That's
with
right.
That.
6th place, Chad Taylor, LaPorte City Union. 5th place, Dave Doble, Clear Lake. 4th place, Matt Esmoil, West Liberty. 3rd place, Shane Bourne, Wilton. Runner-up, Ryan Kinsella, Creston. And the Class 2A 152-pound champion from Norwalk, Brad Horton.
Big smile from Brad Horton. Came close last year, finished 2nd. At 145 this year, the champion at 152. Now the top 6 are coming up
Presenting
at the
the
big
Class
schools.
3A 152-pound awards, Coach Dick Briggs of Cedar Rapids Jefferson. 6th place, Mike Struble, Manchester, West Delaware. 5th place, Clint Koss, Lamar. 4th place, Justin Postum, Waterloo West. 3rd place, Nick Lara, Fort Dodge. Runner-up, Casey Aldridge, Indianola. And the 3A 152-pound champion from Cedar Rapids Jefferson, Travis Pike.
He won it with a big takedown in overtime. Travis Pike, 3A champion. Let's go to Dick Trotter. All he has with him is the champion coach of the AAAs from Indianola.
Not only that, Doug, Tim knows him real well. He was the champion this year, coach of the year in '93, Wes Creason of Indianola. Wes, what a year.
What a year. What a great finish. It's a good year for a lot of good seniors.
I tell you, it takes you back a few years when you were on the mat over at Cook College with Tim.
Yeah, Tim and I we sparred off a lot for challenges for a couple of years, that same weight class. So I remember that real well.
Now, you've kind of taken it on the chin a couple of matches tonight. What about next year?
I have my junior at 152 returning. I graduate 3 seniors that qualified here. Actually, 5 seniors that qualified, and I have a freshman and a junior back next year, and a lot of good kids at home yet.
I guarantee you, Indianola is proud of this young man. First championship ever after 9 years at the school. Wes, happy days.
Thank you.
Back to you, Doug.
Congratulations, Wes. We were talking to him before, and he says, I haven't won it yet. I can't talk about it.
I'm so happy for him. Like I said, he's put in a lot of years, and he just kept plodding along, and he's building a great program there, and he's not through.
But the way he won at that 119-pounder with 3 seconds to go, boy, that was something earlier. Well, here we go to 171 pounds. We're still with the Triple A's. We'll be with them all the way through now. It's Jason Crooks of Fort Madison, a junior who placed last year as a sophomore at a lower weight, up against Todd Scott of Newton, and neither one of these men has lost this year. They're both undefeated, Jason Crooks and Todd Scott. Referee is Gene Letro of Waterloo. In on the leg, Crooks of Fort Madison. We'll watch that as we set you up on 1A between Jeff Clark of Lisbon, their last-ditch shot at Riceville.
And it's a tall order because Lisbon has to have at least a pin and a technical fall to win the state championship. So,
and they have 2 men left to go. Clint Dunlop against Lisbon's Jeff Clark. Clint Dunlop undefeated from Woodbine. And at 2A, Jake Hayes of Creston wrestles Damian Moses of champion Clarinda. Well, Clarinda, we spoke a little bit too soon. They could win a title here, get a champion out of Damian Moses.
Yeah, we did.
For Mike Moreno, we were forgetting about the young man here, and I apologize for that. But Clarinda does have it wrapped up nevertheless. And now we're at 3A. Jason Crooks and Todd Scott in on the low single shot. Jason Crooks again. He wasn't able to score the first time he got in, and he can't this time either.
I'll tell you, it's hard to keep track. Here we are. We were so impressed with Clarinda, but we probably had so many people in Clarinda hot at us right now. You know, we just threw a little water on that fire down there. We are impressed with what's going on down there, but by saying no more wrestlers, there are probably a few phone calls already.
Yeah, that's the way it works. Damian Moses with Mike Moreno coaching as a first-year head coach. Coming in, took over a good program.
He took over a good program. You always got to have good people, but you got to put it together, and he has here. And it's balance, as you've talked about, that Clarinda has put together in this state tournament.
Now here in these, both men have black uniforms on. Again, it's the ankle, if you want to. They both have knee pads black, the same color. The red ankle strap is Jason Crooks of Fort Madison. The green is Todd Scott of Newton. That's Newton on the left, Todd Scott. First period scoreless. 171 pounds.
Chuck Knudsen from Newton, longtime coach at Newton. He's had some good wrestlers. Brooks Simpson won a state championship. Monsieur, who's now wrestling for Iowa State. There's Mike Riley, longtime coach at Fort Madison. This is only his first year as a head coach. 22 years at Fort Madison as assistant coach for Mick Pickford.
Yeah, right.
And then he coached a year at Dallas City in Illinois, and now he's got the head job there and taking advantage of it. And they're right up there in the hunt.
Scott of Newton began the second period on top. Crooks chose to go under, and that attempt at a guillotine looks too dangerous to Gene Luttrow. And he says, let's cease and desist here. Start over again. 1 minute and 38 seconds to go in the second period. No score. Crooks in the top position. From Veterans Auditorium in Des Moines, Iowa, it's the annual extravaganza known as the High School Wrestling Championship for the state of Iowa on Iowa Public Television.
There's
live. The reverse now. That's Crooks still holding the position. And coming around for a reversal. 2-0.
That's 2.
A minute to go in the period.
Coming around for the reversal for 2 points. There's Crooks. He was a freshman qualifier, a sophomore qualifier, placed 6th last year as a sophomore, and now as a junior in the finals. Good-looking young man.
Decided to go and let the man go, make it 2-1 and go for the takedown. And here's Crooks going under for a double leg. He's not in a good position.
He's just glad to be there. I mean, he had some injury problems early on. He said his biggest accomplishment this year was just staying healthy so he could get to the state tournament and be in this position to win a state championship.
That's Jason Crooks on the left with a red ankle strap. He has 2 knee pads, and Todd Scott of Newton has 1 in the green ankle strap, both black uniforms. 2-1 in favor of Crooks.
Crooks likes to be in this position. He looks for hip tosses, and yet he has good low singles. He can do it all. He can go upstairs, he can attack low, and there he does for 2 points because he had put the weight of all 4, the two feet, 2 hands down.
Yeah.
2 points for Jason Crooks.
Well, that was a faulty inside trip. It didn't work.
He throws, he tosses, he slips, he gets 2.
You could see Scott trying to work an inside trip, and he was the one who got tripped. At the end of the period, 4-1.
At 1A, we have a 5-1, or 6-1 now at 1A for Jeff Clark from Lisbon, leading Clint Dunlap from Woodbine.
I see it. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
2A, it's 4-1 in favor of Damian Moses from Clarinda, looking for their first state champion over Jack Hayes from Preston. They're going into the last period now. And so is the 1A, Jeff Clark and Clint Dunlap. They're in the last period with 1:55 left.
So is this one right here with Jason Crooks leading 4-2, a potentially dangerous situation. Crooks begins this period. He's begun this period on top. No, he began the period in the even up position now. 4-2 is the score. 2-point difference.
2 left.
And when Scott went under, he couldn't make it go, and Crooks countered him and goes up 6-2. So Jason Crooks now has put a little distance between himself and Todd Scott of Newton with about 1 minute and 10 to go.
Crooks has been putting distance between most of his opponents. He's undefeated, as we've said. He's really had a great tournament.
That makes it 6-3, a 3-point difference. Now, clearly with less than 1 minute to go. Oh, there's a takedown for Scott. That didn't take long. 6-5 now. 6-5, 7-5 after the escape. So a takedown ties it.
We've seen a lot of this tonight, Doug. That never quit, not over till it's over. It's been real exciting. Young man, that's one thing they've learned. If they can keep coming at you, you always got a chance in wrestling. There's Jay Rager, longtime assistant coach with the Fort Madison program. There's Mike Riley, the head coach.
Scott walked right in there and took Crooks down for the first time. Now let's see if he can do it again. He has half a minute to go, and he's trailing by 2. There he goes, and on the leg. He got it. He's had the last 2 takedowns, and it's 7-0. But there are 25 seconds left, and he's going to have to hold. Will he let him go and try for a takedown, or will he take it to overtime if he can? He'll have to hold him to win. He'll have to ride him out or else lose, because an escape wins it for Scott, for Crooks.
It's a dilemma right there, but you got to just try to hang on here. And he is awful high. Anything he can do.
And here comes Crooks.
There's the 1 point now, but he's already shown he can take down. Here we go.
And there's a warning against Crooks, but I don't think he'd been warned before.
One red. Let's go.
2 seconds. Now we'll see what happens in 2 seconds. We saw a takedown in 3.
Now he can't run because he's got the warning, and he'd get hit with the stalling. But he's got to stay right in there.
Whoa! That close.
That's as close as it gets.
3 seconds he can do it. 2 seconds is tougher. Tough loss there for Todd Scott of Newton. He came very close, lost 8-7. Jason Crooks of Fort Madison, a junior who finished 6th last year at 160, is the champion, stays undefeated. Let's go to 2A now. 171-pound match still has 38 seconds left to go. And Damian Moses of Clarinda, the state champion team, is leading Jake Hayes of Preston.
And Jeff Clark, Lisbon, has won the
7-5.
state championship. Jeff Clark just won his state championship 6-2. So Lisbon gets the state champion, but Riceville, I believe, has clinched the championship.
Nice move by Moses. He was allowed up right away, and he turned right into Hayes and didn't give Hayes a chance to get the three-point takedown he wanted. He wanted a throw or something like that. But Moses turned right back into him and almost got the takedown. So it's 7-5. Almost had the reversal. 7-5. He was an international position, but he didn't head lever from Hayes, trying to turn Moses with a 2-point deficit. Oh, close to tie it. Did he get him?
No.
No. 12 seconds to go. Right idea. There you see Mike Moreno on the right. Hayes, 6 seconds to go. I'll count it for you. 4, 3, 2, 1. And Clarinda gets a state champion. Damian Moses, 7-5 over Jake Hayes of Creston. So we're happy for Corinda's sake that we spoke too soon. We forgot they had one wrestler left to go.
That's icing on the cake. The state championship as a team, an individual state champion. And now Marino's got to, figure out how, what do you do for an encore?
Let's go to the awards at 160.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the award stand at the east end of the auditorium. Presenting the Class 1A 160-pound awards, Coach Dave Morgan of Eagle Grove. 6th place, Ben Schwab, Belle Plaine. 5th place, Justin Short, Winthrop East Buchanan. 4th place, Lee Weber, Gilbertville Don Bosco. 3rd place, Mike Alish, Grettinger. Runner-up, Jeff Rhea, Sumner. And the 1A 160-pound champion from Eagle Grove, John Whitmer.
John Whitmer. It's a good Eagle Grove smile there. They've put quite a few people on the top step over the years. State champion in the 1A division. Now the middle-sized schools are coming up at 160.
Presenting the Class 2A 160-pound awards, Coach Gary Christensen of Winterset. 6th place, Brandon Nissen, DeWitt Central. 5th place, Corey Brown, Bloomfield Davis County. 4th place, Bob Garfinkel, Nevada. 3rd place, Eric Haig, West Lyon Inwood. Runner-up, David Wimberly, Clarinda. And the Class 2A 160-pound champion from Winterset, Tim Duff.
Attaboy, Tim. He can afford to smile, but you never quite know what to do when you're up there sometimes. You don't get many chances to practice that, in the state tournament. Now we're coming to the 3As. We're staying with the 3As, by the way, when we go up to 189 pounds.
Presenting the Class 3A 160-pound awards, co-coaches Dick Bleth and Keith Massey of Lewis Central Council Bluffs. 6th place, Craig Cookman, Mason City. 5th place, Jason Bender, Muscatine. 4th place, Joe Conrad, Urbandale. 3rd place, Chris Roberts, Waterloo, Columbus. Runner-up, Travis Evans, Iowa City, City High. And the Class 3A 160-pound champion from Lewis Central, Council Bluffs, Adam Bendorf.
Adam Bendorf, the champion from Lewis Central. He put his team in 2nd place with that big pin. Let's go to Dean Board.
Jeff Clark of Lisbon had confidence in his single leg takedown in his match with Clint Dunlap tonight. Clark going scoreless into the 2nd period, scored an escape, then had the single leg takedown, led his man up, scored the single leg takedown again, and rode that 5-point lead into a 6-2 decision. Jeff Clark of Lisbon is the champion over Clint Dunlap of Woodbine. And now here's Dick Trotter with Clarinda coach Mike Marino.
All right, right now we're going to see an excited 25-year-old coach as he goes into the air after something that didn't happen before. Damian Moses defeats Jake Hayes of Creston for the state title by a margin of 7-5. Mike, how does it feel?
Oh, I tell you what, it feels great. We knew coming in here we had the advantage because he'd been beaten by him 3 or 4 times during the year. And Moses was so relaxed going out there. Just the confidence was just glaring off of him. I mean, I can't explain. I'm pretty emotional right now because it just happened.
Okay, well, there you see the winner, Moses, Damian of Clarinda, and the coach, Mike Marino, formerly of Iowa State, who is now Coach Clarinda to their first state title in his first year as coach. What a year. Mike, anything to say with regard to next year?
I hope the kids, the younger kids, see how hard work pays off because they worked their butts off this year. It's good to know it's paying off now. It's great.
Best of luck. Thanks. And now back to you, Doug.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let's go to 189 pounds. It's AAA. This is Jeremy Mize of Ames against Tony Whelan of Cedar Falls. Now, there's some awfully good 189-pounders. We're going to show you.
Circling,
keep an eye on the AA mat as well because Lee Fullhart's over there from Decorah, who's won 110 straight.
And Matt Hoover's on the 1A mat, who's
against Lisbon's Jesse Moore.
That's right.
So there's a lot at stake in each match. We're in the Iowa High School Athletic Association 3-year rotation where we started out the first 4 weights with 1A, second weights with 2A, and the third weights with 3A. It's the fairest thing we can come up with ever. A lot of people talk about splitting the screen 3 ways or 4 ways. It's not easy to watch anything when you're that small, I'll tell you right now. Now the other match is at first of all, this is single A where Jesse Moore and Matt Hoover are at it, and the winner over there is Matt Hoover. He just pinned Jesse Moore as we were introducing them. We saw Matt Hoover pin Jesse Moore.
Matt Hoover's a big-time wrestler. He's already signed with the University of Iowa for next year. He won the state last year. He's also been a 2-time national junior place winner, and he's just shown why right there in the corner. Big win for Al Billings, coach of Belle Plaine.
Who beat him this year?
Yeah, I don't know. 25-1 this year with 18 pins, but I don't know who beat him.
And then at AA, Lee Fullhart. Some people think he's the best wrestler in the state.
110 straight wins going into tonight. He's also signed with Iowa.
Against Josh Dodd of Manly.
And Dodd is coached by his dad, Ron Dodd. So another father-son combination in the finals, no less.
But here we are at 189 3A. The takedown that was scored was by the man in the light uniform, Cedar Falls, Tony Whelan. He's only a junior. He finished first here last year. He's one of those spectacular athletes, just an athlete who can give him a game and he'll play it. You know, he's
well, and he plays the game of football pretty darn good. He's going to be one of the most highly sought-after football players next year. He's going to have to make a choice. He loves wrestling, too. He's going to be able to go big time either way.
And Jeremy Mize of Ames finished 4th last year. He's a senior. He went 26-1 for Jack Mendenhall and the Little Cyclones this year. Been the leader of that team for a couple of seasons. Jeremy Mize. Nice move out. 2-1 in favor of Whelan. We go back to the action again.
What's the problem?
Whelan's really there. We look at Ames right now. The Ames wrestler, Jeremy Mize. There's Coach Gable. Zaleski, Steiner, some of the Iowa wrestlers up there looking at some of their recruits that have signed already. Fullhart. Hoover didn't give him much of a chance right here. Here's Fullhart
right here. Fullhart in the blue, by the way, and leading what?
2-0. 3-2.
3-2. We have a 3A timeout here just for a minute. We're about ready to get back in action again for after a quick medical look.
It's going.
And
Fullhart, who we're talking about right here, Lee Fullhart, came to the state as a freshman, then as a sophomore, had a huge upset of a defending state champion to win his first state championship, and then he wins it again last year and going for his 3rd this year.
You're not missing anything because we're watching AA while there's a timeout at 3A. The 1A match ended very quickly. Hoover pinning Moore of Lisbon. That ended Lisbon's chances if they hadn't been ended already. Now this is 3A again. The man in the down position starting the second period, leading, by the way, 2-1, is Tony Wheeland of Cedar Falls. Jeremy Mize of Ames trying to hold him.
Well, look at that. It's going to be a hard thing to do, is hold him, because he came out fast, he came out with power, controlled hands.
And it's 3-1.
Circle. Circle in, guys.
Tony Wheeland in the orange. Jeremy Mize in the black of Ames High School. Front headlock from Wheeland now, off to the leg. That's a troublesome spot. He can turn it into a cradle. It is a cradle. Mize is going to have to fight to stay in this one now.
Got plenty of time. Oh,
Wheeland broke it, gave it up.
No control.
A little surprised at that.
I'm a little surprised they didn't call the control there. There's Gene Doyle. He was wishing the control would have been called too. Done a great job at Cedar Falls. His assistant sitting by him is Kenny Gallagher, former All-American at the University of Northern Iowa.
Go work in, guys.
Locked horns on the edge of the mat. 2-1 is the score. 3-1, I should say, with Wheeland leading. That's Tony Wheeland. There is Jack Mendenhall.
Jack's been the head coach at Ames High School for 29 years.
Wheeland powers Mize down. That was just a power shock, 5-1.
He's got a lot of physical strength. Last year he won the state title. Really, you know, just with a lot of physical ability. This year he's really improved technically, and he's able to change levels real well. He penetrates really well. He's really becoming an all-round
got warning
wrestler.
right here, Green. You got to take him down.
It's a warning against Wheeland from the official Doug Manley of Akron.
One injury time?
Jeremy Mize from Ames.
Injury time, Green.
And Jeremy Mize from Ames here, you see, going over to be coached a little bit by Coach Mendenhall. He's qualified as a sophomore, also qualified last year and finished 4th at 189. He's been at 189 every year.
Although I don't think he's weighed 189 every year. But he's a little closer to it this year. We're going to 2A while we're waiting for that timeout. Wheeland is, I'm not quite sure what the problem is, but he's...
Fullart leading 6-2. Well, now 6-4. Got a little, on that roll, got a little careless right there.
Yes, with Josh Dodd of Manley. Fullhart taking him back around on a reversal. 8-4 now in favor of the Decorah wrestler Fullhart, going for his 111th straight win in high school. Now we're back in action again at 3A with Wheeland in the top position, leading 5-1 over Jeremy Mize of Ames.
No, guys, center.
But Mize escaped. It's a 3-point match now, 5-2. Mize and Wheeland, 189 pounds.
Third period, guys.
That's the end of the second period.
Red shoes is down.
So Mize wants the underneath position. He's trailing by 3. He has to make up 3 points against Tony Wheeland. There's Jeremy Mize. Good shot of the Ames senior. Wheeland broke him down on the first move. Wheeland wants to come up with hand control if he can have it. That's just a point for Mize because Wheeland had been warned. You heard Doug Manley tell you why. It's 5-3. It's a 2-point match now. Again, Mize is out. 5-4. He has to be fired up a little bit by being in this match now with 1.5 minutes to go, only 1 point behind.
Right still, coach, to the head table, please. Right still, coach.
Yeah, it's basically an even match right now. 5-4, minute 20 left.
Center, guys.
Here we come back to the center, 1:18 to go.
Mize has been very deliberate here and just really hasn't given up. There's Jack Mendenhall encouraging him. Mize 26-1 this year and with 11 pins.
Circle, guys.
Nice move by Whelan against Mize's shot, but it happened out of bounds.
Fullart's going to win. He just won 10-5. Fullart from Decorah winning his 3rd state championship over Josh Dodd
and his 111th match in a row. Now we're in the last minute here, the only match still going. Whelan came in, he was way out of position on that shot, and here is Mize trying to get something out of it, but Whelan comes back to his feet again in position. Mize has not been able to take Whelan down, and that has... He's been able to stand in there with him, but he's not been able to take him down or get around him. Hasn't been able to cut the corner. Half a minute to go. Well, that ties it up.
Let's go. You're blocking off. Go.
That ties it up. It's a point for Mize, and it's tied.
Injury time green. Injury time green.
Whelan wants timeout.
He's injured. That's your last timeout, son.
He's taken 3 timeouts. You get 3.
How much time left?
No matter how much time you get. We have 31 seconds to go here. This is the 189-pound final in the 3A level between Jeremy Mize of Ames and Tony Whelan of Cedar Falls.
No more timeout. Next time's out. No more time left, Coach.
Half a minute to go. Live from Veterans Auditorium with Tim Johnson, I'm Doug Brown. We're bringing you the Iowa High School Championships on Iowa Public Television, as we have for 23 years now.
Circle, guys.
You know, if Mize keeps his good position right here, it just seems like he's got a little bit more left, but he's got to give good hip action here, or Whelan's in tight. He's got him down on his hips.
He's all right, I think. 5 seconds to go, and it's out of bounds. And the time is out, so we'll have an overtime.
Right. Going right into overtime.
Time didn't run out any too soon for Mize because he was not in a good position there. Here we go. They don't give him any time to rest. 2 minutes right away. Overtime. Away we go. Again, we say that Mize has not been able to take Whelan down. He's not been able to dent him offensively.
Go, guys.
And he'll have to do that in order to win. Whelan going for his 2nd championship. He's only a junior.
Circle. You got to let him in here.
And Whelan can't step back because a stalling call here would give the win.
That's right.
To Mize.
They come straight at each other. I know this is one of the things.
Mize has been doing the moving right here.
Go, guys. Let's go.
There's a change of levels by Whelan, but
he does a good job of changing level. It just didn't get the penetration that time.
And Mize made his shot, but here comes Whelan around. Let's see what his strength can do.
Well, Mize's got to be able to face him, and Whelan's in on that single leg, changing levels. He's going to win it by changing levels right there.
It's just about a takedown, and there it is. The state championship goes to Tony Whelan in an overtime over Jeremy Mize of Ames. So Whelan has the possibility of being a 3-time champion. Tough overtime there. Tony Whelan of Cedar Falls. Let's go to the awards at 171.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the award stand at the east end of the auditorium. Presenting the Class 1A 171-pound awards, Coach Chris Lembeck of Lisbon. 6th place, Jared Hudepool, Marengo, Iowa Valley. 5th place, Justin DeLeon, West Hancock. 4th place, Brock Gosler, Mapleton, Maple Valley. 3rd place, Chris Ortner, Gilbertville, Don Bosco. Runner-up, Clint Dunlop, Woodbine. The Class 1A 171-pound champion from Lisbon, Jeff Clark.
Lisbon's had quite a number of champions over the years, and there's their champion this year. Jeff Clark for Coach Chris Lembeck. Our next wrestling class will be the big guys, 275-pound weight limit, the heavyweights. And we'll be starting with AAA.
2A 171-pound awards, Coach Mike Marino of Clarinda. 6th place, Matt Peterson, Osage. 5th place, Trent Mason, Webster City. 4th place, Trent Savage, Wapello. 3rd place, Jason Seibert, Monroe, PCM. Runner-up, Jake Hayes, Creston. And the Class 2A 171-pound champion from Clarinda, Damian Moses.
Clarinda has a champion. They have a state championship team. Well, as long as they're going to take home the big trophy, it's nice to have somebody with the gold up there, too. At the top, Damian Moses. These are the awards for 171-pound wrestlers. We've done the first 2 weight school sizes. Now we're up to
Presenting the
AAA.
Class 3A 171-pound awards, Coach Mike Riley of Fort Madison. 6th place, Corey McLeod, Manchester, West Delaware. 5th place, Scott Allen, Spencer. 4th place, Andre Terrell, Davenport Central. 3rd place, Darrell Whelan, Cedar Falls. Runner-up, Todd Scott, Newton. And the Class 3A 171-pound champion from Fort Madison, Jason Crooks.
Jason Crooks. Let's go to Dick Trotter now for an interview.
Well, Doug, it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's pretty exciting. And here you see Lee Fullhart of Decorah, the state champion at 189 pounds in Class 2A. What's impressive here is that Lee has now won it 3 consecutive years. And Lee, they tell me we'll have more to see of you in the future.
Yeah, I'll be at Iowa for the next 5 years now wrestling.
And you're going to be at what weight there?
I'll probably be at 190, maybe start 177 my first year, and then move up to 190 after that.
I know you're in tremendous shape, but how many pounds did you say you probably lost in your match tonight?
I probably lost between 3 and 4 pounds tonight. I've been pretty heavy sweater.
That was a great effort. Lee Fullhart over Josh Dodd of NCNK Manly, 10-5. And now Dean Borg with the guest.
That is his parents sitting there in the crowd, I believe, as we are switched over here to David Ripley of Riceville, who's good things coming through for you. Coach of the Year, Hall of Fame tonight, and now your team has won the state championship. Which of those most satisfying to you?
Well, it's a very easy question. The state championship, kids is what it's all about.
Is this your first state championship?
Yeah, we've been runner-up a couple of times, but this is the first one.
How many years up there at Riceville for you?
It's been 29 years now.
You've got quite a tenure there. What has impressed you about Iowa wrestling over that period of time?
Well, the willingness to work of the kids and the way it brings families together. It's just a great sport.
Congratulations, Coach. Let's go back to Doug Brown.
And let's go up to heavyweight now. Thank you, Dean and Dick. 275-pound unlimited class. We're at AAA. Waterloo East, Dion Reed against Indianola's Jeremy Whalen, who finished 6th here last year. These are the big guys. And we'll show you who's on the other mats, too, as we set up here.
Dion Reed pinned Whalen in December in about a minute. And so this is their second meeting this year.
He's putting him on the merry-go-round now with that front headlock and the underhook.
Swing around, swing it around. Both up, let's go.
Referee is Arlo Flaggy of Waverly. At 1A, you'll see Sean Striegel of Thornburg, Tri-County, and Matt Powelka of Janesville. They are going after it for the state champion heavyweight 1A. And at 2A, it's Greg Recker of Dyersville, Beckman, against Bob Muller of Osage.
Come on, let's open up, action.
Well, Dion Reed's a real neat story. He overcome the adversity early on and finding out that he had cancer, and now he is back, and there he is in the state finals, finishing 2nd last year, and now trying for a state championship, overcoming that adversity to be right here and see a dream come through.
Waterloo East High School. He's a senior. They're both seniors. Reed on the left, Whalen on the right. We were talking about Arlo Flagey of Waverly, and we were going to say that get well to Katie Crimmins, our floor director's daughter, who had a 6-stitch cut in her head this morning in the emergency room, and had it made the parents a little bit nervous. We're in a pin situation, by the way, just for a second on the 2A mat. And down there, the leader in that match is Bob Muller over Greg Recker. These heavyweights haven't scored yet at the end of the first period. Reed of Waterloo East, Whalen of Indianola. Whalen, what do you want? In the blue, is deciding now what he wants to be.
You're down, Red.
Wants to be on top.
This way. He says, I don't want to get underneath, and I want to be where I like to be. There's Steve Knipp, the head coach for East Waterloo, looking on. Hoping that Dion can get right out. Here comes Whalen on top. Whalen's going to go to Waldorf next year, play football and wrestle, and then decide which one he's better at, which one he likes better before he goes on to the 4-year school. Dion hasn't decided where he's going to wrestle next year, but he wants to wrestle in college.
Out of bounds. Nothing for anybody. I was talking earlier, you know, before we get away from here tonight, you know, about all the little and big towns, little and big towns that cover wrestling on radio now. I counted 17 or 18 signs up on the wall of stations all around Iowa. Grinnell, you know, there's KMAQ of Maquoketa over following Kruger, and all over the state.
There's no doubt it is the state championship that covers more cities, more towns than any other state championship. Lots of cars from all over the state are coming on Thursday and Friday with the names of their wrestler or wrestlers in the back of the cars. You only need one to bring the whole town to Vets Auditorium, you know? And that's what's great, you know? One wrestler.
Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about your old hometown and not mine.
What?
One town to get it, one car to get them all out here?
Well, you know, for my hometown of Morning Sun, it took, you know, 4 cars to bring the whole hometown. But we brought them, you know. I tell you. They were big cars, too.
No score here yet. Oh, actually 1 point for the escape for Reed, who came out from underneath. So we're in the last minute of the second period, second minute of the second period. We haven't had any offensive points scored yet. Locking up, though.
Well, Dion Reed can throw, and already you see Whalen's gotten, he's into this second period, and he's gotten way further than he did in December against Dion Reed.
That's right. Here is Jeremy Whalen tying the shoe. Indianola, he got a 38-1 record this year. And that one loss, as you said, Dion Reed. A minute to go in the second period.
Whoa! There's a take.
Whalen of Indianola gets the takedown.
You're down.
With 27 seconds to go in the second period here, and he's now 2-1 up on Dion Reed of Waterloo East for the heavyweight AAA championship.
We're in the third period on 1A with 1:45 left, and it's only a 1-0 score.
That's Pawelka over Sean Striegel.
Matt Pavelka from Janesville over Sean Striegel from Thornburg, 1-0.
And on the 2A mat, it's 9-3 in favor of Muller over Recker. Osage man winning. And it's 2-1 here in the our main TV match. There's Steve. No, that's the assistant coach of Waterloo East.
Take it back, take it back. You're still there.
Come back to the center with 3 seconds to go. 3 seconds to go in the second period. 2-1 in favor of the man in blue on the right.
Okay, unfold him, get him out.
Jeremy Whalen. And even with 3 seconds to go, getting a little timeout. That's Wes Creason.
We've seen a lot of the West tonight. He'll always remember 1994.
Okay. Here we are coming to the end of our wrestling season, TJ, and I hope you'll remember us too, by the way, at festival time, where you show support for public television by calling in and helping out monetarily. We'll tell you more about that here in between periods. Well, we are in between periods right now, so let's talk about it. On the 5th of March, a very special 2-week period begins. That's Festival. It's a time when we ask you to show support for outstanding programming by making a monetary pledge. There will be outstanding programs, such people as Pavarotti, Andy Williams, Red Skelton, Baby Seals, and Giant Bears. We're looking at the Giant Bears out here right now, the heavyweights. The Judge, Lawrence Welk. Tune in beginning March 5th on Iowa Public Television. Show your support. Here comes Dion Reed. And he is up 3-2.
There's a little explosion that just went on in Dion Reed right there, and it turned into 2 points.
Got himself focused there to come out with a strong attack and get his first offensive points here, and he takes the lead 3-2 with about a minute and a half to go in this match over Jeremy Whalen of Indianola. Putting the head lever in there and trying to, he wants to crank Whalen over. Fooey on 3-2. Potentially dangerous on the shoulder. Here's the reversal.
And he just got high right there, and he's...
that was close.
Whalen's real fortunate that he didn't end up flat on his back right there, and he just got real high, made a mistake. Dion came out, came around for the 2 point.
So it's 3-2 in favor of the man on top. If Whalen can escape, he gets it even.
We're in overtime in 1A. 1-1 score between Pavelka from Janesville and Striegel from Thornburg. And Osage has a champion in Muller
at the heavyweight.
Muller from Osage wins the heavyweight title in 2A over Dyersville Beckman's Greg Recker, 12-7.
Here we are with a 3-2 score and about 50 seconds to go, and Whalen is out, so it's even up 3-3. So here we go. Who wants it?
Well, we've got overtime, and we've got possible overtime here. It's quite a way to, what a way to end it here, Doug. It just stays exciting in Iowa high school wrestling.
Whalen has the leg, but he hasn't been able to keep Dion Reed in bounds. They're going to have to call him back into the center again. Arlo Flagey says, let's go back, both up. Even up.
Let's go.
As they're setting up a...
It's Larry Salas, assistant coach at East Waterloo. Steve Knipp, the head coach there.
It's 3-3, 20 seconds to go.
It's still in overtime. Minute left in overtime on 1A, and it's 1-1 with Striegel and Pavelka.
Oh,
there's the hip action. He gets around.
Reed doesn't have it yet. Now he has. Was it in time? Was it in time? It was. Just as time ran out. Wow. A quick move by Dion Reed. Jeremy Whalen made a shot. He lowered his level, went in, got a little out of position, but it takes a quick person to take advantage of it, and Dion Reed is the state champion heavyweight at AAA.
And Matt Pavelka from Janesville, coached by Jeff Gard, wins the state championship in 1A with a takedown in overtime over Sean Striegel from Thornburg.
Dion Reed, senior from Waterloo East, had a tough match with Jeremy Whalen of Indianola, but Indianola is the state champion team. Dion Reed wins at AAA. Let's go to the awards. First for 189, and then for this heavyweight class. 189 first of all, the 1As.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the award stand at the east end of the auditorium. Presenting the Class 1A 189-pound awards, Coach Al Billings of Belle Plaine. Sixth place, Brandon Wielander, Rockwell City Lytton. Fifth place, Callie Kruger, Parkersburg Afflington. Fourth place, Eric Darlin, Eagle Grove. Third place, Derek Mader, Corning. Runner-up, Jesse Moore, Lisbon. And the Class 1A 189-pound champion from Belle Plaine, Matt Hoover.
Matt Hoover. Big win for the second time. 1A 189. Now we'll go to 2A. Put Lee Fullhart up there for the 3rd straight year.
Presenting the Class 2A 189-pound awards, Coach Roger Williams of Decorah. 6th place, Jason Van Polen, Eddyville. 5th place, Casey Downing, Preston. 4th place, Frank Bachman, Glenwood. 3rd place, Wes Hand, Tama, South Tama. Runner-up, Josh Dodd, NCNK Manly. And the 189-pound champion from Decorah, Lee Fullhart.
3-time champion, Lee Fullhart of Decorah. These are the awards for 189 pounds, and the AAA winners will be coming up here now onto the stand. Then we'll give the awards for heavyweight, and the team trophies will be presented.
Coach Gene Doyle of Cedar Falls. 6th place, Josh Vise, Dubuque Senior. 5th place, Bill Waugh, Council Bluffs AL. 4th place, Ryan Bass, Mount Pleasant. 3rd place, Dan Knipp, Waterloo, Columbus. Runner-up, Jeremy Mize, Ames. And the 3A 189-pound champion from Cedar Falls, Tony Wheeland.
Tony Wheeland, he won in overtime against Jeremy Mize. Let's go to Dean Borg for a floor report about heavyweights.
#1 ranked Matt Pawelko of Janesville had wrestled 3 overtime matches so far in this tourney. He wrestled a 4th tonight, and he won the championship in doing it, defeating Sean Striegel of Thornburg in an overtime. Striegel was shooting at the time. Pawelka simply snapped him down and dragged him through, scored a takedown, and he had 3-1 decision. Pawelka is the champion at 275 in 1A. Back to Doug for more awards.
Now let's go up on the stand now. We're going to have the heavyweight awards, the division that Dean was just talking about. Unlimited up, not unlimited anymore. It's unlimited up to 275, and a few people have to cut to make it. The 1A's first.
Presenting the Class 1A heavyweight awards, Coach Jeff Gard of Janesville. 6th place, Dan Ehrenholtz, George Little Rock. 5th place, Chad Gertis, West Hancock. 4th place, Tate Stamp, Lisbon. 3rd place, Dan Griffith, Twin Cedars, Bussey. Runner-up, Sean Striegel, Thornburg, Tri-County. And the 1A 275-pound champion from Janesville, Matt Pawelka.
That's it, Matt. 1A champion, 275-pound weight class. 275 and somewhat less. Here come the 2As.
Presenting the Class 2A heavyweight awards, Coach Bruce Gass of Osage. 6th place, Chad Brotherton, Central Lee Donaldson. 5th place, Clint Hayes, Lorenz Northwest. 4th place, Nate Werneberg, Marion. 3rd place, Barry Coster, Carroll. Runner-up, Greg Recker, Dyersville, Beckman. And the Class 2A heavyweight champion from Osage, Bob Muller.
Now we're going to go back up to the award stands for the 3As. And then we'll have the team champion trophies awarded. Team championships in 1A, 2A, and 3A.
Presenting the Class 3A heavyweight awards, Coach Steve Knipp of Waterloo East. 6th place, Damon Claiborne, Sioux City North. 5th place, Dempsey Miller, Davenport Central. 4th place, Matt Stewart, Dubuque Wahlert. 3rd place, Trent Hennick, Cedar Rapids Prairie. Runner-up, Jeremy Whalen, Indianola. And the Class 3A heavyweight champion from Waterloo East, Dion Reed.
Congratulations, Dion. Champion from West Waterloo East. Let's go to Dick Trotter.
All right, we had quite a tussle in the 2A competition. Bob Muller of Osage wasn't sure until the end of the match what was going to happen because he jumped off to a big lead, but it didn't pan out that way. He finally came back and won 12-7 in 2A competition over Greg Recker of Dyersville Beckman. And there you see an excited Muller, a senior, wrapping up his great career. Back to you, Doug.
Now we come to the awards for the teams, and here's Mo Kelly out in the center mat.
So we get ready for the presentation of team championships. Everybody please clear the mats so we can give the proper recognition to our top teams. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now to present the team championship awards. To do the honors, representing the Board of Control of the Iowa High School Athletic Association, to my near left is the current chairman of the board, Doug Williams, superintendent of schools at Gilbert. In the center is Robert Nielsen, superintendent of schools at Westside Arweva. And next to Mr. Nielsen is Kathy Collins, who represents the Department of Education on the Board of Control. Going to begin with Class 1A first, and our third place team in Class 1A with 57 points, if they'd come forward at this time, Coach Al Billings and Belle Plain. The second place team with 67.5 points, Coach Chris Lembeck and Lisbon. And the champions, 1994 Class 1A, 74.5 points, Coach Dave Ripley and Wrightsville. Now to present the Class 2A trophies, representing the Board of Control of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. To my far left is Eldon Pyle, Superintendent of Schools at Oline. In the center is the Superintendent of Schools at Pocahontas, Dennis Pierce. And next to Mr. Pierce, the current chairman of the board, Superintendent of Schools at Gilbert, Doug Williams. Class 2A, in third place, 73 points, Coach Steve Shirk and Wilton. Wilton. Here we go. Wilton, third place. Our second place team in Class 2A, 85.5 points, Coach Bruce Gast and Osage. With 92 points, Coach Mike Moreno and Clarenda. Now, if you turn your attention to the 3A map, we'll present the 3A championship trophies. To my near left, representing the Board of Control of the Iowa High School Athletic Association, the principal at Oskaloosa, Terry Egan. In the center is Doug Williams, Superintendent Gilbert, the current chairman of the board. And next to Mr. Williams is Dennis Pierce, the superintendent of schools at Pocahontas. In Class 3A, we have a two-way tie. We will be giving duplicate trophies to two teams, both with 76 points. They are Coach Ed Birnbaum and Fort Dodge. And the other team that ties for third, 76 points, Coach Ron Peterson and Cedar Rapids Prairie. Next up, our runner-up team in Class 3A. They had 80 points. Co-coaches are Keith Massey and Dick Blett. Lewis Central, Council Bluffs. And our 1994 Class 3A team champion, 85 points, Coach Wex Creason and Indianola. If you top three teams in each class would stay on your respective mats until we get pictures taken, we'd appreciate it. Also, we'll want the individual champions in each class.
Well, Indianola may not have been favored coming in, but they certainly came out on top in the AAA. It just shows to show you, you know. And we saw a lot tonight. What would you say, TJ? I think the lesson about it's not over until it's over was really made. We're going to show you the team standings here. You saw the awards given, but we'll give you the list. First of all, at the 1A class, that's the way it looked in the top 5. From Riceville down through Sumner. Riceville champion after 29 years of coaching up there. It was a great job.
Dave Ripley. Very deserving.
2A, Clarinda wins. Good race with Osage, but Clarinda wins. They had one champion. Riceville, we said, that was a real team championship because they didn't have any winners, any individual winners. And at 3A, it was Indianola in charge. And Lewis Central, with that big pin from man up in 171 pounds, got in ahead of Cedar Rapids Prairie and of Fort Dodge. It was a heck of a meet. And we had a good time, TJ, didn't we?
Well, I think that what stuck out to me, you're talking about never saying die, you know,
yeah, right.
But it was also the balance of teams. I think the balance across the board. There was not a team that that won it with only a couple or three champions. They had balance in a lot of places.
They sure did. And I'll tell you, we don't want to forget something here. You talk about teams with balance. You and I have worked quite a number of years here, and I've done 23 years with coverage here on Iowa Public Television. And there's a great team we work with, too, and we want to say farewell to our wrestling director for most of this year, John Nichols, who's moving over. We tried to say something about it last week and didn't really have time. John Nichols, one of the nicest people I've ever worked with in public broadcasting of any kind, is moving over to market-to-market division at public television, but he's been a great director for us and a real nice person to have around, and wish John all the best. And so we have a team, too, right?
That's right. That's right. And It's just been a fantastic tournament, and I think we call it a three-ring circus, but I'll tell you, the talent is in every ring, every weight class.
Let's hear from Dick Trotter and Dean Borg, too, some last comments before we go. Huh? Fellas, where are you?
Well, right down here, Doug, where we've been all night. But you know, the one thing that, aside from just the quality of wrestling and the young men who won championships tonight, a couple of things impressed me. And that is two 15-year-old freshmen. The first was Ryan Cunningham of Forest City. Now, he lost his match to Ben Shirk. But Ryan Cunningham carried that match right into the final seconds. And he's only a freshman, 15-year-old. I'm sorry, he's a sophomore, but he's 15 years old. He's going to be back again. He really impressed me tonight as being a very fine wrestler. The other one is a freshman. He's 15 years old. His name is Ben Scorpel of West Liberty. Now, he already holds the record in West Liberty as a freshman for the most wins in a single season. And tonight, he pushed his opponent into an overtime. His opponent was a senior, and he pushed him into an overtime and then lost with a sudden death takedown there. But Ben Scorpel's going to be around here in the future. You can bet on that. Dick, what'd you see tonight?
I tell you, Dean, they get more exciting every year, but tonight I was really thrilled to see Wes Creason win the title for Indianola, his first. I remember Wes wrestling at Cole years ago with, of course, Tim Johnson, and they had an outstanding team that year. And to see him work all these years, 9 years, and to see it pay off is great. Also, Mike Marino, the young 25-year-old coach at Clarinda, winning. Fantastic show. And a couple of wrestlers, Lee Fullhart from Decorah, who we're going to be seeing at the University of Iowa for about the next 4 years. He said possibly 5. I think he can only wrestle collegiately for 4. And finally, a young sophomore from Maquoketa, how could I forget, Maquoketa, who knocked off a senior tonight. That's Eric Jurgens, who has a chance at 4 titles, and we'll be looking at him in the future. It was a great show.
Back to you, Doug.
Where are you?
Thank you. We haven't moved either, and we're enjoying ourselves a great deal. And TJ, you must have been pretty good. All these guys say you were good on that co-team. I didn't. I just take their word for it.
Too long ago to remember.
Well, we enjoyed our 18th season of college wrestling this year. This is our 23rd for high school wrestling. It's a great joy for us to bring it to you, and without everything goes right, we'll be back again next year. And hope you remember us at festival time coming up too, by the way, March 5th. Try to remember, wrestling helps out a little bit too when you make those calls. We'll remind you of it when the time comes. TJ, hope to see you next year. We'll have fun, okay?
Great.
And we have the final team winners for you before we go on out. Just to remind you how they came out, Riceville, Clarinda, and Indianola. And now stay tuned for our evening program schedule. We still have some good things ahead. It's old-time country music and then country video. And finally, Austin City Limits with John Anderson and Billy Dean. Quality public television. Iowa public television it is, my friend. It's a resource for Iowa's future.
2A individual champions, please.
Major funding for this program was provided by Friends of Iowa Public Television.